I have a city in the desert. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 201 High Interest. When it comes to borrowing money, is there anything more reliable than a bank? So when Jiang Chen saw Gan Yaoli calling him, he didn't hesitate. Hello, Mr. Gan, I was just about to call you. I need money, 10 billion, can you lend it to me? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Gan Yaoli on the other end of the phone laughed. Yes, he called just to lend money to Jiang Chen. The whole group knew about the bet between Jiang Chen and ZHU Chang, and ZHU Chang had already spread the news that he was the first to complete the task, so Gan Yaoli first thought of Jiang Chen's need for money, and he also wanted to. It's a problem. 10 billion is a piece of cake. But, Zio Jiang, such a large loan is not easy to approve. You know, I'm just a small shareholder. I know. I'll mortgage my scenic spot to you, and I'll pay you 10 billion before the end of the year. If you can't pay it back, my scenic spot will belong to you. Jiang Chen knew that this guy called him most likely to target his scenic spot, so he didn't bother to beat around the bush with Gan Yaoli. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Gan Yaoli also said very generously, okay, I like people as generous as you. Go to the Xinsheng branch to complete the formalities. Gan Yaoli hung up the phone after he finished speaking. After the call was hung up, Gan Yaoli sat on the leather transfer and hummed a little song happily. The last time the 2 billion loan did not trap Jiang Chen, this time the 10 billion loan, he did not believe that Jiang Chen would not be trapped. After Jiang Chen hung up the phone, although he knew that Gan Yaoli wanted to cheat him, he had to go to the loan now. After all, he had to solve the problem in front of him before he could talk about other things. Jiang Chen took a taxi directly to Guaki Bank. After he rushed to Guaki Bank, the president of the Xinsheng branch of Guaki Bank personally ran to the door to pick him up. After Jiang Chen filled in the formalities at the Xinsheng branch, the branch president mentioned the interest issue at the end of the year. This 10 billion loan, the interest alone at the end of the year is 1.2 billion. 1.2 billion. This is enough to buy several companies. 1.2 billion is fine. I won't mind this little bit of money until all my businesses are operational. Jiang Chen asked the new provincial branch to transfer the money, and then he rushed to the Urumqi International Hotel. When Jiang Chen arrived at the Urumqi International Hotel, the conference room on the 4th floor of the hotel was already full of media. Not only the media, but also several notary companies from Beijing. At 2 o'clock, Jiang Chen walked into the venue. The venue was a bit noisy. Governor Li hadn't arrived yet, but ZHU Chang and others had arrived early. At this time, ZHU Chang, who had a big back hair, had a band-aid on his nose, and his hands were swollen in several places, but this did not affect his good mood at all. When Jiang Chen looked at him, he was still whistling at the beauty in the notary seat. Master ZHU, you are so smart. It's all thanks to you that we can beat Jiang Chen this time. That's right, Master ZHU. If we beat Jiang Chen this time, his scenic spot will surely collapse. Then we will acquire him. Acquire your sister. Let me tell you, my dad has his eyes on that piece of land. As long as we beat Jiang Chen this time, my dad will give me 5 billion to play with Jiang Chen. I will kill him. After ZHU Chang finished speaking, Jiang Chen had already walked to the podium. After Jiang Chen found his seat and sat down, ZHU Chang hurried over. At the same time, a group of reporters turned on the video camera and started filming. Good afternoon, dear audience friends. I'm Wang Jing, a reporter from SJTV. I'm now broadcasting live at the donation ceremony at the Urumqi International Hotel. You can see that both parties have arrived at the scene. Let's go up and interview them. After Wang Jing finished speaking, she walked quickly to Jiang Chen and ZHU Chang. She held the microphone and asked Jiang Chen, Boss Jiang, can I interview you? After you win the 10-county desert film and television base, will you? Wait, reporter, I'm the winner, okay. Before the reporter finished speaking, ZHU Chang interrupted her. After hearing this, the reporter said a little embarrassedly, excuse me, how did you win? It's very simple, relying on strength. By the way, Jiang Chen, are you ready for 10 billion? Everyone must keep a close eye on him, don't let him run away. After ZHU Chang finished speaking, a group of media laughed. They even deliberately pointed the camera at Jiang Chen and gave him a capital letter. Now they are basically broadcasting live, and the live video has been filled with barrages. Wow, Jiang Chen failed. Seeing his miserable face, it's so cool. So cool. Jiang Chen is being low-key. Okay, low-key, your sister. There's no way Jiang Chen can win. As far as I know, there are more than 600 fans who have visited Young Master ZHU's scenic spot, but there don't seem to be many people at Jiang Chen's scenic spot. I'm really looking forward to it. No matter who wins or loses, it's a win-win situation. The brother in front of me is right. No matter who wins or loses, it's a win-win situation. Even if Young Master ZHU loses, donating 5 billion to rural primary schools in front of the national media will definitely make their family stocks go up to the daily limit. Yeah, but if Jiang Chen loses, he will only be miserable. After all, he doesn't have a listed company. At the scene, after ZHU Chang humiliated Jiang Chen, a reporter looked at ZHU Chang and asked, Young Master ZHU, do you have enough money? Also, I see that the head of the Meng Group is here this time. Is he here to advertise for the listing of the Meng Group? After the reporter finished speaking, ZHU Changang's face changed instantly. ZHU Changang was about to lose his temper when a staff member in the distance shouted towards them, Dear media friends, please return to your seats as soon as possible. Our press conference will begin soon. After the host finished speaking, Governor Lee and other leaders also walked straight from the backstage to the center of the rostrum and took their seats. After everyone sat down, the host shouted loudly, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Urumqi Charity Donation Press Conference. First of all, thank you all the media friends who came to the scene, and those friends who are waiting in front of the TV. Hello. Applause broke out at the scene. After the applause, the host said calmly, before the start of this donation meeting, let's announce one thing first. We all know that the main donors of this donation will be the Mojiang Bermuda Scenic Area or the 10-county desert tourism base. So which one is the donor? Now, please welcome Director Wang of the Shangjing Fangyuan Notary Office to come on stage. After the host finished speaking, amid everyone's applause, a bald man in his 40s walked to the center of the stage with a microphone. After he stood firm, he said to the full house of media friends, Hello everyone, I'm the chief notary for the donations to the Bermuda Scenic Area and the Desert Film and Television Based Scenic Area. Let me announce the total number of visitors to the scenic areas of both sides as of 10 o'clock this morning. First of all, I want to announce that the number of guests of the 10-county desert film and television tourism base is 547. After Director Wang finished speaking, Meng Hui and others breathed a sigh of relief. That's right, 547 people. They have already won. Chapter 202 Big Winner. After the notary read out the number of tourists at the 10-county desert film and television base, the whole audience was in an uproar. ZHU Chang was so excited that he jumped directly onto the podium. When everyone was a little surprised, ZHU Chang had already dragged his leather jacket on the table and started howling. ZHU Chang, come down. Secretary Wang couldn't help but shout when he saw this. After all, this was a press conference, not a nightclub. After Secretary Wang reminded him, ZHU Chang put on his clothes and jumped off the table. After jumping off the table, he pointed at Jiang Chen and shouted without caring about his image, What do you think? I told you that you can't beat me. You still want to snatch a woman from me. I want to see how you die. After ZHU Chang finished speaking, he shook his leather jacket and proudly performed a talk show. Jiang Chen looked at ZHU Chang and couldn't help but sighed. Show. It's really a show. After ZHU Chang calmed down, Governor Lee couldn't help but frowned. He hated ZHU Chang to the core. On the rostrum in the distance, Meng Wang, the president of Meng Group, said to the vice president beside him with a smile, Write the manuscript for me immediately so that the reporters can use it when they interview me later. By the way, focus on the situation of our listing. Whether our stock can become a hit depends on today. After Meng Wang finished speaking, he also looked at Jiang Chen deliberately. Seeing Jiang Chen's depressed face, he smiled. He was considering whether he should eat a piece of meat from Jiang Chen when he went bankrupt. After all, he heard that Jiang Chen's scenic spot was indeed much better than his investment. Okay, after announcing the 10-county desert film and television tourism base, let me announce the number of out-of-province tourists in the Mojiang Bermuda Oasis scenic area. As of 11 o'clock in the morning, the number of out-of-province tourists in the Mojiang Bermuda Desert Oasis scenic area was 500. After Manager Wang finished speaking, ZHU Chang and others jumped up happily on the spot. That's right, there were 537 of them, and Jiang Chen had exactly 500 people. Needless to say, they definitely won. After the result came out, Jiang Hui, who was sitting next to Jiang Chen, wiped the sweat off his head and smiled at Jiang Chen. He said complacently while laughing, "What do you think, Boss Jiang? You're slapped in the face. You said you could save me, haha, luckily I didn't listen to you, otherwise I would have been killed by you." Jiang Hui finished speaking, and Jiang Chen didn't say anything, but at this moment he was already indifferent. There are 500 people, so who won? Just as Manager Wang announced the result, Wang Jing from Beijing TV asked Manager Wang. As soon as Wang Jing finished speaking, Manager Wang of the notary office looked at the people on the stage and said, before announcing the result, "In order to maintain the fairness of this agreement, please transfer the funds to be donated by both parties to the card of this notary center. This public center will donate all the money to the construction of rural primary schools in Xinjiang." After Manager Wang finished speaking, when they heard that the money had to be transferred to their cards first, ZHU Chang and others' faces changed. That's right, this time they were sure to win the game, and they didn't bring any money at all. Just when several people were hesitating, Jiang Chen stood up from the podium. He walked straight to Manager Wang and handed him a black card. After Manager Wang took the black card, he swiped 10 billion directly. That's right. For this bet, they had specially applied to the bank for a large transfer. Jiang Chen swiped the money, and soon there was warm applause from the audience. Manager Wang did not forget the opportunity to say, "This is Mr. Jiang from the Bermuda Oasis scenic area in Mojiang. Let's applaud more enthusiastically, and let Mr. Jiang lead the others." After Manager Wang finished speaking, everyone's applause was indeed much more enthusiastic. When Jiang Chen walked back to the podium, he also looked at ZHU Chang and the others. At this moment, ZHU Chang stood up, after slapping the table. He picked up his card and swiped it. ZHU Chang swiped the card, and the chairman of Ningying Group also stood up and swiped the card. Although 5 billion was not a lot for them, they could still afford this game that was sure to win. After the two companies on the stage paid the money, everyone's eyes turned to Manager Bei of China Travel Group and Meng Chaoyang of Meng Group, but the two of them looked embarrassed. In order to know the result, everyone urged them to get up. Even ZHU Chang couldn't bear it and said, "Hurry up and let them announce it. What are you waiting for?" After ZHU Chang finished speaking, Meng Hui looked at his father and whispered, "Dad, what should I do?" Meng Chaoyang thought about it. Their group was at the crossroads of listing. Now was a great opportunity for him to promote it, so how could he fall behind at this moment? Thinking of this, Meng Chaoyang stood up and swiped all the 5 billion that had just been borrowed from the company's account to the notary center. Meng Chaoyang swiped the money. Manager Bei saw this and hurriedly called the headquarters of China Travel Group. In front of the national media, Bei Xiang made this call with fear. He was afraid that the headquarters would directly reject him, because if the headquarters rejected him, it would not only lose his face at this moment, but China Travel Group would also be in trouble. Fortunately, after the call was connected, under Bei Xiang's promise to win, Huolv Group had to let Bei Xiang pay the 5 billion deposit in order to ensure its positive image. After all the deposits were clocked in, everyone's eyes turned to Manager Wang. At this moment, not only the media present, but also nearly 700 million netizens in China also looked at Manager Wang in the center of the stage. Tell me who won." "That's right, what are you wasting time on? Tell me who won." The reporters under the stage couldn't bear it anymore. You know, it was a donation of tens of billions. Now I announce that the winner of this bet is. Manager Wang saw that everyone was talking at the top of their lungs, and he repeated again, "The winner of this bet is Fuck, are you possessed by the director of I'm a Singer? You are paralyzed. Fuck, do I need to say who won this bet? It must be me, ZHU Chang. Seeing that Manager Wang was so nagging, ZHU Chang wanted to beat him up. Manager Wang was a little embarrassed by ZHU Chang's scolding. He smiled and announced loudly to hundreds of media. At this moment, Jiang Chen's heart was in his throat. Yes, he was waiting for a miracle, although he knew that the possibility of this miracle was basically zero. I declare that the winner of this bet is the Mojiang Bermuda Desert Oasis scenic area. After Manager Wang announced loudly, the whole scene was filled with thunderous applause like a concert. Yes, after the media present saw the arrogance of ZHU Chang and others, they all hoped that Jiang Chen would win, not for anything else, but because they really couldn't stand the bad behavior of ZHU Chang and others. Great. I knew Jiang Chen could win. After learning the result at this moment, Governor Lee was also excited and punched the chairman's table hard. At this moment, Secretary Wang had already hugged Jiang Chen tightly. Yes, Secretary Wang knew that Governor Lee had not slept well for several days because of today's bet. Now that Jiang Chen won, Governor Lee could finally sleep peacefully. Everyone at the scene was cheering, but at this moment ZHU Chang and others looked at Hen, especially Manager Bai and Meng Wang, who sat down on the ground. You know, if ZHU Chang lost, he would lose face at most. After all, he didn't care about the 5 billion because of his big family, but it was different for Manager Bai and Meng Wang. Manager Bai's 5 billion was the money of the China Travel Group headquarters. Meng Wang's 5 billion was the last loan they took out before going public. It's over. It's over. The headquarters must kill me this time. It's over. It's over. 5 billion. 5 billion is gone. Dad, wake up. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 203, Hitting the Snake at its Weak Point. Jiang Chen felt like he was dreaming. He would never believe that he could beat ZHU Chang. Jiang Chen was just like that. The joyful crowd made Jiang Chen really hope that he would never wake up from such a beautiful dream. No. Impossible. You are lying. I have 537 tourists and he only has 500. How can he beat me? Just as everyone was cheering, ZHU Chang picked up the microphone and yelled at the notary. After ZHU Chang finished speaking, Manager Bai and others behind him also shouted, "That's right, we have more people than him, why should he win?" Meng Wang, who was lying on the ground, seemed to see a glimmer of hope. He struggled to sit up from the ground and murmured to the notary office, "Yes, he has exactly 500 people, and we have 537. He can't win. You are covering up for him. I demand to check the surveillance." After Meng Wang finished speaking, Meng Hui also shouted on the stage, "We don't accept it. We demand to see the surveillance." "That's right, we don't accept it. Show us the surveillance." After Meng Hui shouted, the leaders of Ningying Group also shouted. They were sure in their hearts that Jiang Chen would lose, and even Jiang Chen felt that he would lose. After all, when he was still short of 2 tourists, a new group of tourists had already arrived in the Zucheng scenic area. Speaking of releasing the video, Manager Wang looked at Governor Lee, who nodded and said, "Then release the video and convince them." After Governor Lee finished speaking, the notary office played the surveillance on both sides on the big screen. The videos on both sides played the scene at 9:50 in the morning at the same time. On the screen, Jiang Chen's scenic spot was processing temporary tickets for fans from other provinces. Until 9:56, his tickets for other provinces were sold out, and at this moment, the public notice showed that Jiang Chen's tourists from other provinces were 498. "Look, I said they had inside information," ZHU Chang shouted as he looked at the video. It was indeed true. After Jiang Chen's tourists from other provinces came in, a car stopped at the entrance of the 10-county desert film and television base at 9:56. More than 30 tourists got off the car and walked straight to the entrance of the scenic spot. There is an inside story. We are the winners. Looking at the surveillance on the stage, Wang, who almost fainted, recovered instantly. After recovering, he walked to the stage and shouted to the media, "Look, he has no tourists anymore. We are the winners." After Wang finished speaking, Jiang Hui, who was beside Jiang Chen, also reached out and wiped the sweat from his forehead and breathed a sigh of relief. He was almost scared to death just now. "Yeah, we won. We won." Ziang couldn't help crying and jumped up on the field. However, when they were excited, two hands appeared on Jiang Chen's screen, two white hands. After they swiped WeChat, the surveillance was paused. At the same time, the number on the public notice board also jumped to 500. At the moment, when the picture was frozen, the surveillance of the 10-county desert film and television base showed that the two students had just put their ID cards on the ticket counter, and the number on the public notice board had not yet jumped to 500. Good. At the moment, when the picture was frozen, all the media people present cried with joy, while Meng Wang and Ziang had already been stupidly stunned in the same place. This reversal really made their little hearts unbearable. There are no tourists, so who is it? Zhu Chang pointed at the notary officer Manager Li and yelled. Manager Li said calmly, "Oh, our staff, the two of them are also from other provinces. Is there any problem?" After Manager Li finished speaking, Zhu Chang and others almost spit out a mouthful of blood. He covered his chest, and his chest hurt so much. Such a despicable method. You are cheating. These two people don't count. Ziang looked at the mass media with a pleading face. He wanted to rely on the media to put pressure on the notary office, but the public office called up another video. The video showed that at 11 o'clock in the morning on May 26th, a group of people wearing flowery shirts with Peppa Pig tattoos bought tickets. After the video was released, Manager Wang said, "Our employees want to buy tickets to the scenic spot, and we have no right to interfere with them. Besides, our contract does not say that notaries do not need to buy tickets. In addition, we can basically confirm that these 40 people are hired by your scenic spot. We are hesitating whether to count them for you." After Manager Wang finished speaking, everyone burst into laughter. "This Zhu Chang is too funny. Forget about finding a shill. Can you find a normal one? Besides, these people with Peppa Pig tattoos, is it their Peppa Pig who helped? Okay, I declare that the winner this time is the Mojiang Bermuda Desert Oasis Scenic Area." Governor Lee saw that the result was out, so he stood up and announced it. After Governor Lee announced it, hundreds of media soon turned their cameras to Jiang Chen, and reporters also handed the microphone to Jiang Chen. "Excuse me, how do you feel now that you have won? Excuse me, this time there are 10 billion left. Where will you spend this money?" One by one, the reporters looked at Jiang Chen and asked, and Meng Wang fell to the ground with a plop. "That's right, 5 billion. If they donate 5 billion, their company will be ruined. It's over, it's over, it's all over now. Dad, don't be afraid, we are about to go public. Let's talk about it in the interview later. We can get the money back from the bank as soon as we go public tomorrow." After Meng Hui finished speaking, Meng Wang stood up again. "That's right, even if he lost 5 billion, what would happen?" When the national media interviewed him later, he would talk about his charity and his listing together. Was he still afraid that his stock would not rise by the daily limit? Not only him, but even Zhu Chang and others were prepared to be interviewed. That's right, since the defeat was a fact, they could only make up for their losses to the greatest extent. When they donated money and interviewed him later, they would talk about their parent company. At that time, the stock of the parent company would rise slightly, and the money would be returned. But how could Jiang Chen not know their intentions? As the saying goes, you have to hit the snake at its 7 inches. If you don't hit the vital point, it will bite you sooner or later. Once you give it a chance, every bite it bites will be fatal. So, when a group of reporters asked him how to spend the 10 billion, Jiang Chen looked at hundreds of mainstream media and said, "I plan to donate all of it to the education cause of Mojiang County. I hope I can set an example for more people to pay attention to them, help them, and make the education cause of the frontier of the motherland more and more brilliant." Jiang Chen finished speaking, and the applause broke out instantly. Even Governor Lee and others were moved, and held Jiang Chen's hand tightly. On behalf of the primary and secondary schools in Mojiang, I thank you. I also wish your Mojiang Bermuda Desert Scenic Area will become more and more prosperous. After Governor Lee finished speaking, the host on the stage shouted loudly, "Let's give the warmest applause to the Mojiang Bermuda Oasis Scenic Area first." Here I also call on everyone who can afford to go to the Mojiang Scenic Area to buy a ticket. You are not only supporting the Mojiang Scenic Area, but also supporting the hopes of those who are struggling in the frontier. After the host finished speaking, Zhu Chang and others on the stage turned pale. At this moment, they really wanted to say something stupid. I donated 5 billion, and there was not even a sound. Jiang Chen, you are really awesome. Now, please invite the leaders of the Rural Education Foundation to come on stage. Also, please invite all donors to come on stage and donate their love. Chapter 204. Please deal seriously. At the press conference, after the public announced the results, the leaders of the foundation walked onto the stage. When Zhu Chang and others were pulled to the center of the stage by the staff, all the cameras were focused on them. At this moment, their faces were uglier than if they had eaten shit. Thank you for your concern for rural education. The people from the foundation shook hands with them one by one. Seeing that the host still didn't let them speak, Meng Wang hurriedly shouted, "We also donated money, why don't you let us speak?" After Meng Wang finished speaking, the group of people felt a little embarrassed. Yes, the host really wanted to remind them that you all lost, so don't stand up and embarrass yourself, okay? But, okay, you also donated money, you can also speak, whatever you want to say, please speak one by one. After Governor Lee finished speaking, Meng Wang took the lead and walked towards the podium. As soon as he walked to the podium, he heard a bang, and the door of the venue opened. A dozen policemen walked in from outside. After they walked onto the stage, they asked the crowd, "Excuse me, who is the person in charge of the 10-county desert film and television base?" After a leading policeman finished speaking, he saw Governor Lee on the stage, and he saluted hurriedly. Governor Lee asked, "What's the matter?" After Governor Lee finished speaking, the leading square-faced police officer said, reporting to Governor Lee, "We have received complaints from the Provincial Tourism Bureau and students from Beijing. The 10-county desert film and television base is suspected of deceiving and beating tourists and other illegal acts. The evidence is conclusive, and we will arrest them according to the law." After the police chief finished speaking, Governor Lee nodded. That's right, he would never allow anyone to beat tourists on his own territory, so he nodded and said, "If the evidence is conclusive, please deal with it seriously." Yes, Governor Lee. After the chief of police finished speaking, more than a dozen policemen behind him had already walked onto the stage, and several shareholders of the 10-county desert tourism base on the stage also sat down on the ground with a plop. "Take them away." The chief of police took out the photos for comparison, and arrested Zhu Chang, Ning Xiao, Meng Hui and others. After several people were arrested, Meng Hui looked at Zhu Chang and cursed, "Zhu Chang, it's all your fault. I told you not to hit tourists, but you did it. You killed us, we lost our money, and we broke the law. I'm not done with you." Meng Hui burst into tears while speaking. At this moment, Meng Wang also sat down on the ground with a plop on the podium. He knew it was over. Everything was over, and the career he had fought for all his life was over. What a rip-off. I told you not to invest in the 10-county scenic spot a long time ago, but you didn't listen. Now, the more than 1 billion yuan invested is gone, and you have to take out a loan of 5 billion yuan. How can I live? Meng Wang cried and cursed. As soon as he finished cursing, a policeman came up and took him away. When several people were taken away, a group of media did not forget to interview them with microphones, and the cameraman even took a close-up of their faces. It was already evening when the venue became quiet again. After Jiang Chen signed the donation agreement with the foundation, he took the nearest flight back to Mojiang. After arriving in Mojiang, it was already dark. Jiang Chen drove on Highway 1. At this moment, he was so happy that, if it weren't for the car window blocking it, Jiang Chen would have flown to the sky. Before the car arrived at the Bermuda Scenic Area, Jiang Chen's mobile phone suddenly rang. Jiang Chen was puzzled. Zhu Chengdu was arrested. Who had sent him a message at this time of night? Jiang Chen stopped the car took out his mobile phone, opened it and saw that it was a message sent to him by the farming app. Jiang Chen thought, yes, why was I so happy that I forgot that I had completed the task of 500 tourists. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen hurriedly clicked on the app in the desert. The moment he clicked on the app, a reminder quickly popped up. System prompt. Congratulations to the player for completing the task of 500 tourists. The player will get a brand new seed. Please go to the building materials mall to check it out. After the system prompt, Jiang Chen jumped up happily. Yes, it was a seed from the building materials mall. You know, the building materials mall is full of good things. Let's see what good things are, Jiang Chen said as he clicked on the building materials mall. After clicking on the seed grid, a brand new seed really appeared in the seed grid. The seed was very strange, like a standing mung bean sprout. Jiang Chen hurriedly clicked on the seed, and the system popped up a seed introduction. Seed introduction. The desert charging street lamp seed is a magical street lamp that converts electricity by absorbing light. This street lamp can be recharged continuously. It only takes half an hour for the street lamp to light up for 24 hours. After it is fully charged, the street lamp can light up for 1 year. In addition, this charging street lamp seed can also provide charging services. One street lamp can charge 3 new energy vehicles at the same time, can charge 20 mobile phones at the same time, and can also provide electricity for electric vehicles and other electrical appliances. Looking at the desert charging street lamp seed, Jiang Chen was so surprised that he thought he was dreaming. This street lamp is so powerful, it can be used for a year on a single charge. What kind of battery technology is this? Wait, if I can master this battery technology, then I will soon control the future of new energy vehicles. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen seemed to see his transcendent status in the field of new energy in the future. However, can today's scientists thoroughly study these products from future technology? Even if they can, are there such materials on Earth? Jiang Chen sighed after he finished speaking, but turned his head and thought, why am I sighing? Now that we have street lamps, won't that solve a lot of problems? At least when we build roads in the desert in the future, we don't have to worry about not being able to buy street lamps. And there is another point. This time when tourists came to the desert for tourism, the most common problem they reported was that the desert could not charge their mobile phones, which caused them to miss a lot of beautiful scenery. Now that desert charging street lamps have come out, isn't the problem of mobile phone charging perfectly solved? What a good thing. I just don't know if it's expensive. Jiang Chen clicked on the price introduction while speaking, and soon the system began to prompt. System reminder, this street lamp design involves a number of patented technologies, so the cost is high, and each street lamp costs 1000 yuan. After the system prompt, Jiang Chen was very upset. 4,000 yuan is expensive to buy a street lamp that can charge a car? Are you kidding me? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he was ecstatic. It happened that the street lamps in his Xinghuling and sunflower scenic spots were not installed yet. Now they can all be converted into desert charging street lamps. Thinking of this, while several scenic spots were not open, Jiang Chen stepped on the accelerator and drove towards the Xinghua scenic area. It was already 10 o'clock in the evening when he arrived at the Xinghua scenic area. It was just getting dark at 10 o'clock in the desert. Tourists gathered in the Bermuda oasis scenic area to enjoy the quiet night with fragrant grass. The Xinghua scenic area was empty. Chapter 205, Magical Desert Street Lights. It was the end of the month, and a crescent moon hung on the branches of the apricot trees. Jiang Chen could smell the fragrance of the apricot flowers with every step he took. Okay, let's start with the apricot blossom scenic area. Jiang Chen counted the number of street lights as he spoke. His apricot blossom scenic area covered an area of more than 100,000 mu, with more than a dozen roads. Street lights were needed on each road, because when the apricots were ripe, he had to harvest them day and night, so lighting was essential. There's a street light about every 6 meters, but this is a desert street light, so it must be very bright, so there's one every 10 meters. I have roads of all sizes here that add up to about 110 miles, and 110 miles is 55,000 meters. 55,000 divided by 10 is 5,500 street lights, but this is only the number of lights on one side of the road. The roads on both sides add up to 11,000 street lights. After Jiang Chen calculated the number of street lights, he added up the cost of each lamp. After the calculation, he sighed. Hey, the street lights in this Xinhua scenic area alone cost 11 million. I can't make back the money by selling tickets in any lifetime. Moreover, the Xinhua scenic area alone costs 11 million, and Jiang Chen also has the desert poppy scenic area, which can't be less than 7 or 8 million. Add to that the sunflower garden and the entire outer ring road. Forget it. While we still have some money, buy the street lights and plant them. Jiang Chen opened the purchase page after he finished speaking, and then directly charged 11 million to buy 11,000 rechargeable street lamps. After purchasing the street lamps, Jiang Chen directly planted the street lamps in the Xinhua scenic area. Clicking on the continuous planting, Jiang Chen just slid the seeds behind the planting window, and a golden light fell to the ground. Soon, street lamps with blue bases and white necks appeared on the spacious roadside. The street lamps were 8 or 9 meters high and looked exactly like the street lamps in China, but the lamp heads looked a bit retro, with 4-cornered lamp heads. After the street lamps were planted, it didn't take long for them to emit a faint light. The light became brighter and brighter, and soon illuminated the entire night sky. Oh my god, can it be bright without the sun? How is this possible? When Jiang Chen was sighing, he looked up at the sky, and the crescent moon in the sky was emitting a silvery white light. Wow, this street lamp is so powerful that even moonlight can charge it. If I can master this technology, won't all new energy vehicles in the world have to listen to me in the future? Jiang Chen was fantasizing, and suddenly he remembered the charging function. It happened that his flashlight was out of power, so he wanted to try it. So he took out the flashlight and walked towards a street lamp. Jiang Chen walked to the street lamp. He looked for a long time, but couldn't find a place to charge it. The street lamp was a hole from head to toe, and there was no socket. How could it charge electricity? Just when Jiang Chen was depressed, the street lamp post at his waist suddenly lit up, and then the street lamp post slowly sank into a gap. When Jiang Chen was wondering, a long and retractable power strip came out of the gap. Jiang Chen looked carefully and found that the power strip only had 5 rows of sockets that could charge 2-phase electricity and 2 3-phase power sockets at both ends of the power strip. Jiang Chen looked at the power strip for a long time before he remembered that this thing was actually inductive. It really is technology from the future. Jiang Chen sighed and plugged in the flashlight. When the charger light came on, Jiang Chen was completely relieved. Okay. Now that the Xinhua scenic area has planted street lamps, let's go to the Poppy Sea. Jiang Chen drove the Mercedes-Benz G-Class straight to the Poppy Sea scenic area. He spent more than 7 million to buy more than 7,000 street lamps in the Poppy Sea scenic area, and then chose to plant them all with one click. After the seeds were planted, Jiang Chen was surprised that the desert charging street lamps were not the same as those in the Xinhua scenic area. At this moment, the street lamps were all black. The lamps were not very high, only 5 or 6 meters high. The tops of the street lamps were not curved, and there were crystal ball lamps like grapes hanging at right angles. When the lights were on, there were all kinds of colors. From a distance, the entire Poppy scenic area seemed to be in a colorful sea of grape lights. Wow, it's so beautiful. These 10,000 acres of lights can be regarded as a scenic spot. Jiang Chen sighed, and he felt more and more that his system was really awesome. Desert street lamps can be planted in different shapes according to different scenery. Let me see what street lamps planted in the sea of sunflowers look like. Jiang Chen drove straight to the sunflower garden scenic area while talking. After arriving at the sunflower garden, the sunflowers planted in the sunflower garden had grown to the size of bronze mirrors. The sunflowers had not yet bloomed, but Jiang Chen had already vaguely discovered that tender sunflower seeds had already formed inside. The sunflower garden is more than 50 miles long. We need 5,000 street lamps. 5,000 street lamps are 5 million. Okay, start charging money to buy them. Jiang Chen directly charged 5 million while talking. After charging the money, Jiang Chen bought the street lamps and planted them on the road in the sunflower garden with joy. After a golden light fell to the ground, street lamps grew rapidly from the ground on the quiet roads in the night. After the street lamps grew up, Jiang Chen was surprised to find that the street lamps here were even more peculiar. The round and thin street lamp poles were divided into two halves, and the tops of the two halves of the street lamps hung down. The street lamp heads looked like two sunflower plates full of fruits. Under the moonlight, the street lights soon lit up. What surprised Jiang Chen was that the lights were golden, just like the sun. Wow, future technology is future technology. When all the flowers wither, I can open a light show, Jiang Chen said, and then he walked around the sunflower garden for a long time with excitement before leaving. After the street lights and the two scenic spots were planted, Jiang Chen went to the Crescent Bay scenic spot. There was no one in the Crescent Bay scenic spot because at night, the scenic spot would gather all the tourists to the Bermuda Lawn scenic spot. One was for safety, and the other was for easy management. There were also thousands of Saharan troops outside the scenic spot, so Jiang Chen was not worried about anyone disturbing him. In the yellow sand, Jiang Chen saw an oasis under the moonlight. The lake in the oasis was clear and the reeds were floating. Jiang Chen scooped up some water from Crescent Bay and washed his face. The ripples in the water stretched the crescent moon very long, very long. The water in Crescent Bay is still cool. After scooping up some water, Jiang Chen became much more sober. He took out his mobile phone and planted desert charging street lamps. The Crescent Bay scenic area was not very large, and most of the scenic area was occupied by the lake, so Jiang Chen only bought more than 4,000 street lamps. He planted the street lamps along Crescent Bay in a circle, and then planted another circle in the oasis scenic area by the lake. After Jiang Chen finished planting with one click, he looked at the scenic area with expectation. When the street lamp grew up, it looked like a small tree, and the tree was full of crescent-like street lamps. When the street lamps were lit, the whole scenic area was immersed in a pale white world. Perfect, Jiang Chen said, and he walked along the lake alone. He enjoyed the coolness of the night breeze passing over the water, and enjoyed the quietness and freshness of the night. Unknowingly, Jiang Chen walked into a dazzling world. Chapter 206, Yellow-Haired Provocation. It was late at night when they left the Crescent Bay scenic area. Jiang Chen was not sleepy at all. He was eager to build more streetlights, so he drove towards the Rose Sea scenic area again. After arriving at the Rose Sea scenic area, he directly bought 10,000 streetlights. After the streetlights were planted, a fairyland appeared in front of him. In the rolling Rose Mountains, streetlights lit up one by one. The streetlights were not very high, and the green lamp posts looked like rose branches, and the weak orange light looked like rose flowers. The lamp heads that looked like huge blooming roses were hidden in the colorful rose world, and the whole world seemed like a beautiful oil painting. Wow, streetlights can be so beautiful, this is incredible. Jiang Chen sighed. In the night, Jiang Chen really wanted to stay up all night to appreciate the painting in front of him, but no, I want to plant streetlights on the entire outer ring road, Jiang Chen said. He took out his mobile phone. Just when he wanted to calculate how many streetlights the outer ring road needed, the desert farming app popped up a message that made him collapse. System prompt: the remaining balance on your bank card is less than 1 million. Please recharge as soon as possible. Recharge your sister. What are you thinking? Do you think it's cute coins? You can recharge it just by saying so. Forget it. Let's plant here first. The 2 trillion yuan from selling roses last time is really spent now. Tomorrow I will go to Sahara shop to see if I can get 100 million first. Jiang Chen was about to turn off his mobile phone and go to sleep in the car. Suddenly, his mobile phone rang again with a ding dong. Ding dong. Task reminder: attract 10,000 tourists. After completing the task, the player will get a new seed. The current total number of tourists is 5783. Oh my god, another mission? This broken system gives me new missions every day. I have to work hard to complete them. After I complete them, you work hard to make money from me. In the end, I'm like your wage earner. Jiang Chen put his phone in his pocket as he spoke. However, when he was lying in the Mercedes-Benz and looking up at the empty space, he couldn't help but feel happy in his heart. Great, there are finally missions to do. If I don't do missions every day, when will I have money to go to the heart of the Sahara? After sleeping in the Mercedes-Benz for a night, Jiang Chen turned on his phone and read the news at dawn the next day. He would check the news every day when he got up. This habit has been formed for several years. As soon as Jiang Chen turned on his phone, a piece of news quickly attracted his attention. Urumqi morning report. At 7 o'clock today, our city salvaged a male body from the Wu River. The police have confirmed that this person is Bai Xiang, the general manager of the new province office of China Travel Group. According to relevant sources, Bai Xiang received a call from the senior management of China Travel Group after donating yesterday. After answering the call, Bai Xiang invested in Wu. As soon as the market opened today, the stock of China Travel Group plummeted, which seemed to be affected by this incident. What? Bai Xiang is dead? Jiang Chen was a little surprised. Although Bai Xiang was hateful, he was not guilty of death. However, Jiang Chen thought of the 5 billion yuan, and he couldn't help but sigh and said, the money has been donated. What can you do, even if you force Bai Xiang to death? Now, if Bai Xiang dies, you will lose more than 5 billion yuan. Jiang Chen felt a little heavy after speaking. He was afraid that Jiang Hui would not be able to get over it, so he quickly called Jiang Hui. After the video call was connected, Jiang Hui wandered in the office early in the morning. Hey, boss Jiang, when will our contract be fulfilled? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Jiang Hui looked at Hen and didn't speak for a long time. Boss Jiang, the number of people in Mojiang scenic area has reached a new high today. Up to now, there are more than 2,000 people queuing up in Mojiang scenic area. Get out. Jiang Hui yelled, and the secretary hurriedly closed the door and went out in disgrace. Boss Jiang. Boss Jiang. I regret it. I shouldn't have been deceived by Zhu Chang. I should have listened to Governor Li. For Governor Li's sake, let's cooperate again. Jiang Hui looked at Jiang Chen in the video, and he suddenly became energetic. This fence sitter, Jiang Chen. What are you thinking about? Someone has already cooperated with my scenic area. You should quickly convert your 30% of shares into stores and give them to me. By the way, think more open-mindedly. If you had known this would happen, why did you do it in the first place? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Jiang Hui regretted it so much that he gave up Jiang Chen's scenic area and chose the closed Teng County Desert Tourism Base. That's right, he thought he was saving Xinmui Travel Agency, but he never expected that he would kill Xinmui Travel Agency with his own hands. Okay, let's put it this way. I'll talk to you in the evening. You should think of a plan. By the way, if you give me the store in the first tier city, I will ask for less. Jiang Chen hung up the phone after he finished speaking. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Chen felt indescribably happy. However, Jiang Chen was most concerned about the news about Meng Group and Zhu Chang, but he couldn't find any news about Zhu Chang after browsing for a long time. Seeing that the time was almost up, Jiang Chen drove towards the Rose's Date online store. He wanted to get some money from the manager to repair the street lights on the outer ring road first. When Jiang Chen arrived at the Rose's Date online store, a large group of people gathered at the door of the online store. When Jiang Chen stopped the car, he suddenly found that the Rose's Date online store was occupied by a group of gangsters. The gangsters were led by Huang Mao. They blocked the door and prevented the employees of the Rose's Date from entering. Get out of the way. If you don't get out of the way, I'll call the police. Come on, call the police. If you dare, I'll make sure your company never has a stable future in Mojiang. Huang Mao, say that to me again. Brother Hu yelled at the door of the online store. Huang Mao waved his hands and several of his men kicked Brother Hu to the ground. When the Rose Rendezvous security guards were about to beat them up, a dozen reporters hurriedly carried cameras to record. Guan Ku hurriedly stopped them when he saw this. Forget it, Huang Mao, what do you want to do? Guan Ku shouted at Huang Mao, who sneered, if you don't want to do anything, let your boss come over. After Huang Mao finished speaking, Jiang Chen squeezed through the crowd and walked in. When everyone saw the boss coming, they hurriedly made way. Huang Mao, what do you want to do? Jiang Chen walked to the door of the store and looked at Huang Mao. Huang Mao sneered and said, how do you talk to me? Damn it, I'll do it. Brother Hu got up and was about to beat Huang Mao. Huang Mao took out his cell phone and said, Rose Petal Factory, ah, so pitiful. Huang Mao made a call, but the call didn't go through. But there was a loud bang, and the Roses Promise online store could feel the tremor of the earth. Jiang Chen looked back at the place where the explosion came from. Yes, it was the rose petal factory. Jiang Chen grabbed the yellow-haired man by the collar, and a smug smile appeared on his face as he said, "Let go. This is just the beginning. This time we just blow up a factory or something. It will be different next time, when we blow up tourists." After the yellow-haired man finished speaking, Jiang Chen gritted his teeth and yelled, "Say it again." After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he was about to lose his temper when a group of media cameras pointed at him. Guan Ku hurriedly pulled Jiang Chen away and whispered, "Let him go first. Our scenic spot has just started, so don't let the media report it." After Guan Ku finished speaking, Jiang Chen reached out to take the phone to call the police. The yellow-haired man on the other end smiled and said, "Call the police. Even if you call the police, there is no evidence to prove that I did it. By the way, Master ZHU is also preparing to give you a big gift. Do you want to see it?" Chapter 207. Money makes the world go round. At the entrance of the Rose Rendezvous online store, Huang Mao opened his mobile phone. The homepage of the Today's Flowers online store was opened on his mobile phone. Jiang Chen walked over to the phone and took a look. His brows knitted together instantly. Today's Flowers roses are all on sale at a reduced price. Each rose is only sold for 5,000 yuan. Jiang Chen had just finished reading when Huang Mao's mobile phone rang. Huang Mao reached out to answer the call. Jiang Chen saw ZHU Chang sitting in the coffee shop. At this moment, ZHU Chang was drinking coffee while crossing his legs and humming a song. Weren't you arrested?" Jiang Chen looked at ZHU Chang in the video with some surprise. ZHU Chang sneered and said, "I didn't break the law. Why did they arrest me? By the way, Jiang Chen, my roses have been reduced in price. What about yours? I heard that you owed Guaki Bank 10 billion yuan. You should still pay it after the new year. Is the interest this month expensive? None of your business." Before ZHU Chang finished speaking, Brother Hu spit at him. The saliva flew over. Although there was a screen between them, ZHU Chang subconsciously dodged backwards. When ZHU Chang realized that the spit could not reach him, he pointed at the screen angrily and shouted, "You kid, just wait." Jiang Chen waved his hand to let Brother Hu leave. He looked at ZHU Chang and said, "What do you want to do?" After Jiang Chen finished speaking, ZHU Chang took a sip of the bitter coffee and choked and coughed a few times. It seemed that he rarely drank coffee. Ahem, what do I want to do? I'm not doing anything. I'm just helping you analyze it. You owe Guaki Bank 11.2 billion in principal and interest. There are still 7 months until the Chinese New Year, which means you have to earn 1.6 billion a month to pay it back. In addition, I heard that you will invest 10 billion in Sun to build a laboratory by the end of the year, right? This month you will need another 1.4 billion. Also, I heard that you bought houses in the entire new district, which cost more than 60 billion, right? You will also have to pay it back after the Chinese New Year, which means 8.5 billion this month. If you add all these things together, you can't make 10 to 1.5 billion a month, so forget about completing the task. After ZHU Chang finished speaking, Jiang Chen was shocked. He didn't know how ZHU Chang knew all this, and what was his intention in studying all this? So what? Since I dare to borrow, I can pay it back. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, ZHU Chang burst into laughter. He told the people around him to buy him a bottle of Levy, then looked at Jiang Chen and said sinisterly, "Don't think I don't know how you want to pay off your debts. Your only income now is selling tickets and roses, right? The June sandstorm is coming soon, and the entire new province will be swallowed by the desert. Only fools will go to your scenic spot at this time. Of course, you can still sell roses, but it's a dream to make trillions by selling roses." After ZHU Chang finished speaking, Huang Mao and others also looked at Jiang Chen smugly and mocked. "Sell roses, sell roses, sell your mother's roses. Our boss sells them for 5,000 each, and you sell them for 30,000. I don't think anyone would buy your roses." That's right. After June, you can just wait for the roses to rot in the ground. When your roses rot and you have no money to pay off your debts, I wonder how you can still be so arrogant. Scar monkey, say it again. I'll say it again. What can you do to me? Fat tiger, you are no longer my boss. Please recognize your position. Watchdog. Say it again. Brother Tiger went up to beat Scar Monkey, and a group of reporters looked at Brother Tiger and reported. The person in charge of Mojiang Scenic Area asked the security guards of the scenic area to beat tourists, because the tourists did not want to buy roses. Now everyone, please read the detailed report. After a group of media people finished speaking, Guanku hurriedly grabbed Brother Tiger. After Brother Tiger was grabbed by several people, he kept struggling, but Jiang Chen stopped him. Brother Tiger, pay attention to your image. There is nothing for you to do here. You go back first, and come to my office to find me later. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he patted Brother Tiger's shoulder meaningfully. Brother Tiger knew that Jiang Chen's words were meaningful, so he looked at Scar Monkey and snorted coldly and left. After Brother Who left, Zhu Chang looked at Jiang Chen and said, although Scar Monkey's words are unpleasant, this is the truth. By the way, my dad said that after your scenic spot is mortgaged to the bank, my dad will buy it. Then I will be the person in charge of the scenic spot, and you can come and be my dog. I will help you pay off your debts then. By the way, bring Li Yiren with you as well. I will open the biggest nightclub for her and let her sell there every day. In just a few decades, she will be able to pay off your debts. Don't say that I don't help you. By the time comes, I will take care of her business for you. Ha ha ha. After Zhu Chang finished speaking, Jiang Chen clenched his fists. Since you dare to provoke me like this, fine. Then don't blame me for fighting you to the end. Zhu Chang, do you think you're the only one who dares to lower the price? Your roses are 5,000 each, right? Okay, my roses are free. If you have the guts, follow me and sell them. Jiang Chen sneered, and Zhu Chang on the other side also laughed. Free. Okay. I don't believe your roses don't cost anything. Well, I played with 2 big horses yesterday, and I'm sleepy. Goodbye, my watchdog. By the way, you really want to know why I'm fine, right? Now turn on the news. Zhu Chang hung up the phone. After he finished speaking, Jiang Chen turned on his phone, and Megu News just recommended him a piece of news from the listing of Meng's Group. Xianshan Stock Market. Today, the Meng's Group in Xinsheng was successfully listed. At the beginning of the listing, the young master of the Meng's Group beat up tourists, which was a hot topic. However, Meng Wang, chairman of the Meng's Group, said that he would not tolerate Meng Hui's beating of tourists, and had him undergo repentance education in the detention center. Not only that, Meng's Group received 2 billion investment from Daijiang Venture Capital as soon as it was listed. At present, the stock of Meng's Group has been soaring. How did they succeed in going public? Shouldn't they cancel the listing plan and declare bankruptcy? Jiang Chen was dumbfounded as he looked at the news on his phone. Humph, you want to harm our boss? You're dreaming. You never expected that our boss has bribed Meng Hui to take all the blame. Our boss and Ningying Group helped his family keep the company and also helped him go public. You never expected that. Huang Mao looked at Jiang Chen with a smug look on his face. After he finished speaking, Jiang Chen cursed him inwardly for being shameless, but Meng Hui had already taken the blame. What else could he do? This incident was Jiang Chen's first glimpse of the true strength of the Zhu family in Shangjing, but Jiang Chen would not easily admit defeat. Are you done? You can leave now. Guanku saw that Zhu Chang had hung up the phone, so he questioned Huang Mao. Huang Mao nodded, and with a wave of his hand, he led a dozen of his younger brothers and a group of media people away. After Huang Mao left, Jiang Chen hurriedly drove towards a rose factory. Now is the time when roses are in full bloom, but it is also the period when roses are most likely to wither, so his rose processing factory cannot have any mistakes. Chapter 208, Mo Jiang, you can't turn the world around. When Jiang Chen drove to the rose processing factory, the factory was still processing rose petals intensively. Not only that, Manager Hua had purchased 7 or 8 sets of rose petal steaming machines. When Jiang Chen arrived, these machines had already been set up in the new factory. There was no problem with the rose petal factory. When Jiang Chen was wondering where the huge noise came from, there was a sudden loud bang, and a large chimney was instantly blown up. The development zone was filled with smoke and dust. Jiang Chen looked carefully and found that the workers were blasting the large chimney of the cement factory. Fuck, you dare to play tricks on me. Jiang Chen clenched his fists. This yellow-haired guy dared to play tricks on him. He was even more rebellious in Mojiang. After leaving the rose petal factory, Jiang Chen first sent someone to pass on a message to the Sahara Corps. He asked the Sahara Corps to send a team of 50 people to pretend to be security guards to guard the rose petal factory day and night. Then he drove straight to the Mojiang Sahara Enterprise Safety Management Office. The yellow-haired guy dared to play tricks on him, so Jiang Chen naturally had to kill him civilly. At the Security Management Center, Jiang Chen asked about Wang Mao's activities at night, and then he left. It was still early in the evening, and Jiang Chen remembered the travel agency. He didn't want to cause trouble, so he flew directly to Wuxi. When Jiang Chen arrived at Xinmui Travel Agency in Wuxi, the agency was very noisy. Xinmui's general manager Jiang was talking to several companies about selling Xinmui Travel Agency. Jiang Hui was very calm when he saw Jiang Chen coming. He knew that his travel agency could not be revived, so he was not going to stop struggling. I have prepared the contract, sign it. I will transfer the 6 travel agencies in Shangjing and Shanghai to you. However, you should think clearly. These travel agencies have been losing money every year and can't make money. Jiang Hui handed the contract to Jiang Chen, and Jiang Chen signed his name. After signing, a man in his 50s came to the manager's office. He was bloated and not very tall and had hedgehog yellow hair. After he came out, he took the contract and said to the group of people waiting in the hall, "Go away, I've bought the company. By the way, you are the small shareholder, right? Sell your shares to me, and I'll give you 1 million. The yellow-haired boss spoke and patted several managers who were queuing to discuss cooperation. Seeing this, the other managers hurriedly smiled and said, "It's Brother Jiang. If we had known it was Brother Jiang, we wouldn't have come. Get out, you bastards still want to buy a travel agency, get out now." After Brother Jiang finished speaking, several people left with a smile. Xinmui Travel Agency was very quiet and the employees had resigned long ago, so for a while Jiang Chen, Brother Jiang and Jiang Hui were the only ones left in the room. "I don't sell my travel agency." Jiang Chen turned around and wanted to leave. Brother Jiang's huge body blocked the door. He waved his big fist and looked at Jiang Chen and said, "What's the matter? Do you think the money I gave you is too little? Let me tell you, this broken travel agency has to pay millions of dollars every year. I'm giving you 1 million, just for Jiang Hui's sake. I won't sell it, get out of here." Jiang Chen said in a bad mood, and was about to leave. After all, although he was short of money, he didn't really care about the 1 million. "Are you being too arrogant? Let me tell you, Xinmui Travel Agency cannot be dismantled. Today, either I buy your shares or you buy my shares. Otherwise you can't even think of walking out of this door." Brother Jiang had a loud voice. His roar quickly attracted a group of onlookers, and even the manager who had just left followed him back. "Who is this guy? How dare Brother Jiang offend him?" "That's right, don't you know that what Brother Jiang likes must belong to Brother Jiang? Well, this guy's in trouble." After a group of people started talking, Jiang Hui saw that Brother Jiang was angry, and he was happy. Although his travel agency went bankrupt, it would be nice if Brother Jiang could give Jiang Chen a good beating. Even if he didn't give him money, it would be a relief to see Jiang Chen being cheated. So thinking of this, Jiang Hui looked at Brother Jiang and said, "Brother Jiang, I have sold my shares to you. I can't decide whether to sell his shares or not. However, this guy is very difficult to deal with. I'm afraid Brother Jiang can't deal with him." After Jiang Hui finished speaking, the burly Brother Jiang got angry. That's right, there was really no one in Wuxi that he couldn't deal with. "You kid, if you don't sell me your shares today, I'll make you beg to sell them to me later." Brother Jiang stretched out his hand and tried to poke Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen snorted coldly and grabbed his finger. "Yes, you are a powerful gangster, but a small gangster like you is only at the bottom. A top boss like Jiang Chen is not afraid of you." "Ah, it hurts." Jiang Chen pulled Brother Jiang's finger, and Brother Jiang's face changed instantly because of the pain. Okay, didn't you say that Xinmei shares must be unified? Then I'll buy your shares. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, a group of managers who were watching outside the door laughed after hearing it. Who is this kid? How can he be so boastful? That's right, a teenager wants to acquire Xinmei Travel Agency. What nonsense. Do you know the market value of Xinmei Travel Agency? Although the business is not good, don't even think about acquiring it without tens of millions. That's right, 10 million. That's not the 4 or 5 cents to buy a lollipop. 4 or 5 cents can't even afford a lollipop. After a group of people started talking, although Brother Jiang felt pain, he couldn't help but sneered. You kid are pretending to be cool with me, right? You still want to buy my stocks, let alone the price I bought them at. Can you afford it if I sell them to you for 5 million? After Brother Jiang finished speaking, Jiang Chen let go of his hand. After letting go of his hand, Jiang Chen looked at Jiang Hui and said, go and make a contract for me. I'll buy Xinmei Travel Agency. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Jiang Hui looked at Brother Jiang. Before Brother Jiang spoke, a group of bosses at the door started shouting, beat him, let him buy it. Are young people nowadays so pretentious? Yes, let him buy it. If he can't pay later, let him give up his shares at a low price. Brother Jiang, teach the young man a good lesson. That's right, let him know how powerful we big guys in Washi are. In this day and age, do young people still want to bully us adults? After a group of managers finished speaking, the brainless Brother Jiang also got excited. He pointed at Jiang Hui and shouted, okay, sign a contract. I will sell him the shares I acquired for 5 million. Pay me the money immediately. If he can't pay within an hour, sell me the shares he has for 100,000. After Brother Jiang finished speaking, even the aunt who was sweeping the floor couldn't help but curse. So dark. After the aunt finished speaking, Brother Jiang rolled up his sleeves and was about to beat her up. A group of managers hurriedly grabbed him. After all, beating the old lady at this critical moment would make the big guys in Washi lose face. Little brat, do you dare to sign? If you don't dare to sign, just leave the shares and don't embarrass yourself here, okay? A manager said this while deliberately spreading his legs apart. That's right, Brother Tiger is here. How could they miss this opportunity to bully others? What's more, a group of beautiful female employees from the opposite company came to watch the fun outside the door. Chapter 209, Overbearing CEO. Speaking of acquiring shares of Xinmei Travel Agency, Jiang Chen thought about it and felt that it was indeed worthwhile. Xinmei Travel Agency had more than 50 travel agencies across the country. Although they had closed down, the resources were still there. Moreover, Jiang Chen was engaged in tourism bases, so if he had his own travel agency, he would have a way out if Yang Wang Travel Agency went bankrupt one day. So, when a group of people laughed at Jiang Chen said to Jiang Hui, okay, I'll listen to Brother Jiang, but no one can regret it once the contract is signed. Seeing that Jiang Chen agreed, Jiang Hui hurried to modify the contract. While modifying the contract, he smiled and said, Brother Jiang, you finally made money this time. This kid has no money. He just borrowed 10 billion and donated it. Now he can't even take out 10,000 in his pocket. Jiang Hui knew Jiang Chen very well. As he spoke, Jiang Hui printed out the modified contract. After printing, he handed it to Brother Hu and Jiang Chen and said, sign it, we will be your witnesses. Jiang Chen looked at the contract, nodded and said, okay, you can sign it, but you have to transfer your shares to Brother Hu first. I can only sign it after Brother Hu gets your travel agency. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Brother Hu saw that Jiang Chen was really aware of the law. He looked at Jiang Hui and said, are you sure he has no money? I'm sure, 100% sure. Besides, he still owes the Mojiang government more than 60 billion. Where can he get the money now? After Jiang Hui finished speaking, Brother Hu thought about it. It was true that this guy was probably trying to scare him because he couldn't get out. So Brother Hu didn't say anything. He directly signed the transfer contract with Jiang Hui and transferred 10 million to Jiang Hui. Jiang Hui got the money and worked harder. After he laid out the contract for the two people, in order to prevent Jiang Chen from cheating, he specially went to ask the notary company to notarize it. After the notary arrived, Brother Who pointed at Jiang Chen and said, "Sign it. If you can't pay the money later, your shares will stay here." Brother Who said me, and a group of managers started to talk again. The shares will stay, and the people will stay too. Let's educate such a person well. That's right, we must educate him well, otherwise his life will be bumpy. Looking at a group of managers who were doing good things, Jiang Chen really wanted to say, "I'm bumpy, you paralyzed. You bunch of people, don't blame me if Brother Jiang starts beating people up later. Sign it." Jiang Chen signed his name as he spoke, and Brother Who also signed his name. Several people from the notary office also started recording the video. After recording the evidence, they took a photo of the contract and saved a copy. "Okay, the agreement is signed. Pay the money. I tell you, you only have 1 hour." After Brother Jiang finished speaking, he gestured to the crowd of onlookers. Not only that, a manager flattered him and said, "Brother Jiang, let me be the manager of your company later." "Okay, you be the manager. I'll pay you 20,000 yuan a month." Brother Jiang is so awesome. If he can't pay later, let him kneel out. Yes, let him kneel out, and it's better to kneel in front of me for a while. Hahaha, Laoliu, you're going too far. But this outsider should really be taught a lesson. That's right, let him know the price of pretending. A group of people wanted to pretend in front of a bunch of beautiful women. Brother Jiang touched his yellow hair and instantly caused the beautiful employee opposite to vomit, although he thought he was very handsome. "I'll make a call." Jiang Chen took out his mobile phone while speaking. Brother Jiang motioned for everyone to be quiet. He wanted to see what Jiang Chen could do. "Hello, Manager Mew. How much working capital does the company have now? Can you transfer me 5 million? The manager Mew that Jiang Chen mentioned was Mu Cheng from the Sahara cement factory. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Mu Cheng shook his head and replied, "Brother Jiang, I just sold the cement, and they haven't paid me the project fee yet, so I don't have any money on hand now. I was just thinking of applying to you for employee travel allowances or something." "Okay, then you borrow from the Sahara shop first, and pay it back when you have money." Jiang Chen hung up the phone after he finished speaking. Seeing that Jiang Chen didn't borrow the money, Jiang Hui smiled and said to Brother Jiang, "What do you think, Brother Jiang? I said he has no money, and I'll let you cheat him, and you can cheat him out of money." Jiang Hui smiled and took credit for it. Brother Jiang was very happy. He patted Jiang Hui on the shoulder and said, "Okay, if you help me get his shares, I will hire you as the manager." "Thank you, Brother Jiang." After all, although Jiang Hui's company was sold for money, it was not enough to pay off the bank loan. If he could have a job with 20,000 a month, at least his pressure would be much less. Jiang Hui finished his words with a flattering look on his face, and Brother Jiang sat down on a table and continued to watch Jiang Chen borrow money. "Where else can I get money? Sahara's shop has no money either. Oh, my live broadcast money." Jiang Chen took the phone and thought for a while. He dialed Song Jiaqi's number. After the call was connected, Song Jiaqi's somewhat cold voice came from the phone. She habitually had no enthusiasm for anything. "You guys hurry up and report your recommendations. Also, can you find some high quality anchors when signing anchors next time? Hello, is this Mr. Song? It's me. Who are you?" "Jiang Chen. Oh, sorry, I didn't see your name just now. By the way, why haven't you started live broadcasting these days? Your live broadcast effect is very good. More live broadcasts will retain more fans." Song Jiaqi's voice is also very nice, crisp and pleasant, giving people a very intellectual feeling. Her voice is completely different from Fan Jiabing's. "Yes, it will be open tonight. By the way, I want to borrow some money first." After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Brother Who heard that Jiang Chen was borrowing money from a woman. He couldn't help but slammed the table and cursed, "How shameless. You actually asked a woman to borrow money. It's really embarrassing for a man." After Brother Who finished speaking, a group of female employees at the door also pointed at Jiang Chen. "This guy, did God give him a good appearance to let him eat gigolos? That's right, so shameless. The more handsome he is, the more he has to work hard to become a domineering president. Damn, you have seen too many domineering presidents." Brother Who is a domineering president. Do you think he is handsome? Fuck, you are the one who talks too much. You are the one who talks too much. Ah, it hurts. It hurts. Brother who, spare me. Brother who, spare me. Jiang Chen was very puzzled. If the handsome ones don't eat gigolos, will they leave it to the ugly ones? Besides, I'm legally asking for the money I deserve. Okay, well, sure. How much? 5 million. Can you transfer it to me now? Jiang Chen knew that he had earned at least 50 million in reward money in the past month, but it was not time to pay salaries yet, so he couldn't make things too difficult for Song Jiaqi. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Song Jiaqi on the other end of the phone was very calm. She thought for a while and said, okay, I can advance you 5 million now, but I have a condition. When Jiang Chen heard that Song Jiaqi was willing to advance him 5 million, he was immediately happy. That's right, Jiang Hui, this bastard, still wanted to cheat me of my money. I borrowed the money today, and it would be strange if Brother Jiang didn't beat him up. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 210. No one is allowed to leave. It is better for people to be honest with each other. Jiang Chen could already imagine how Jiang Hui would be beaten to a pulp later, but at this moment Jiang Hui was still looking at him with a smile, as if he thought Jiang Chen was just a lack of. Mr. Song, what are the conditions? Just tell me, I will definitely agree to it. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, in the office of the content director of Chili Building, Song Jiaqi was seen wearing a white shirt tucked into a tight hip skirt, wearing 10cm high heels, and her slender legs made people unable to look away. It was not until then that Song Jiaqi's face with delicate makeup showed a rare smile. There are no conditions. I have a day off tomorrow, and will take 2 days off. I want to bring a friend to see you. You? Sure. Just come. By the way, I will give you free tickets. Jiang Chen was very grateful to Song Jiaqi. If it weren't for her, I'm afraid he wouldn't have settled in Chili Live. If he hadn't settled in Chili Live, he wouldn't have the first startup capital for building the Bermuda scenic spot. So Song Jiaqi also made an indelible contribution to the current status of his scenic spot. Okay, I'll ask the finance department to transfer the money to you later. By the way, I'll be there around 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Let's call each other then. Phone call. Thank you, Mr. Song. Jiang Chen called Song Jiaqi Mr. Song because Song Jiaqi's excellent management ability had promoted her to one of the vice presidents of Legiao, so she had the right to give Jiang Chen the right to withdraw money in advance. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Hui was dumbfounded. Jiang Chen thought it was a good thing that he didn't hold the bowl, otherwise his bowl would definitely be broken at this moment. Damn. Didn't you say he had no money? When Brother Jiang saw that Jiang Chen had borrowed money, he suddenly felt like he was being set up by a honey trap. Brother Jiang, he really has no money. He asked a woman to borrow money. This is really unexpected. I made you unexpected. Tell you, if he really borrowed money, I'll kill you if you don't give me my 10 million. While Brother Jiang was talking, Jiang Chen's phone rang, and the 5 million that Song Jiaqi had transferred arrived. Brother Jiang, where's the card number? Jiang Chen was talking, and the person at the notary office handed Jiang Chen the card number and the contract. Jiang Chen transferred 5 million yuan according to the card number. Because Jiang Chen's card was a black card, within a few seconds, Brother Jiang's phone dinged and 5 million yuan was deposited. Here, you give me back the money. Brother Jiang looked at the 5 million yuan in his hand, and he was almost crying. That's right, he spent 10 million yuan to buy Jiang Hui's shares. How could he be willing to lose 5 million yuan in a blink of an eye? Go to the notary office to ask for the money. You hired the notary office yourself. Okay, I will send someone to take over Xinmui travel agency in the evening, and you can leave. Jiang Chen said, took the contract, and turned around and left. Before he reached the door, more than a dozen managers hurriedly made way. At this moment, their faces were flushed. This feeling of being slapped in the face made them want to find a crack in the ground to crawl into. Stop him. Don't let him go. Tear up the contract in his hand. Brother Jiang shouted, but the managers didn't move. That's right, who wants to offend a rich man? Brother Jiang saw that no one moved, so he shouted again. He left today. You all wait for me. I promise that you won't be able to survive in the new province. Brother Jiang shouted, and the dozen managers who were watching the excitement were really crying without tears. That's right, they were just a group of spectators. You are not allowed to leave. You dare to cheat Brother Jiang's money. You are really looking for death. That's right, put the contract there. We will let you go. Otherwise, we will. Jiang Chen saw that Brother Jiang failed to cheat and joined the underworld. He snorted coldly and said, "What, if I don't put down the contract, what can you do to me? We can kill you." A manager waved his fist while speaking. Looking at his shriveled arm, Jiang Chen wanted to laugh. Such a person still threatened him, and they all couldn't be my opponent. Okay. However, Jiang Chen did not intend to fight with them. After all, it was not graceful. Besides, fighting was only done by reckless men. To deal with these hooligans, you have to kill them and destroy their hearts so that they can completely kill their desire to fight against you. Are you involved in the underworld? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, a group of managers knew that if they did not stop Jiang Chen today, Brother Jiang, the devil of the world, would make them all suffer. So, although this melon was unpalatable, they had to finish it with tears in their eyes. What's wrong with being involved in the underworld? Come here, kid, give me the contract. After Brother Jiang finished speaking, he quickly ran behind Jiang Chen. He couldn't let Jiang Chen take his 5 million away like this. Brother Jiang reached out to grab the contract. Although he was tall and strong, Jiang Chen was protected by the god of the desert, so he kicked Brother Jiang to his knees. When Brother Jiang knelt, the whole audience was in an uproar. Oh my god, you are finished. You dare to hit Brother Jiang. Do you know who Brother Jiang's uncle is? Outsiders are outsiders. Now it's good. Even if I give you the contract, I don't think you dare to take it. As a group of managers were talking, Brother Jiang held his stomach and twitched on the ground. Seeing this, Jiang Hui hurriedly dialed a number. Yes, he originally wanted to join Brother Jiang to cheat Jiang Chen, but now he was cheated by Jiang Chen. If he doesn't get the contract back now, Brother Jiang will kill him. Hello, is this Zhang? Your nephew was beaten. Come to Xinmui Travel Agency and take a look. Jiang Hui hung up the phone after he finished speaking. After hanging up the phone, he looked at the group of people at the door and shouted, "Block the door. Zhang will be here soon." Brother Jiang was beaten here today. He wants to run away, and none of you can escape. After Jiang Hui finished speaking, Jiang Chen pulled out a chair and sat at the door. He had no intention of leaving at all. Yes, he knew that if he left, the travel agency he acquired would definitely be ruined. I won't leave. By the way, you guys are also involved in the underworld, right? So what if you're involved in the underworld? Let me tell you. So what if you can fight? When Chief Zhang comes later, I'll see if you can fight or shoot. After a group of managers shouted, Jiang Chen pressed the end recording button, and then he called Secretary Wang. 10 minutes later, a group of Special Forces soldiers with live ammunition rushed to the door of Xinmui Travel Agency. After they arrived, a group of managers applauded happily. They seemed to see Chief Zhang stroking their heads like stroking a dog after they succeeded in flattering him. Who beat my nephew? After a burly man in his 50s came, a group of managers made way for him. At the same time, more people came to watch the excitement, and they blocked the entire floor. It was him. He was the one who beat me, and he also forced Brother Jiang to sign a contract. What contract? The contract for the sale of Xinmui Travel Agency. He cheated Brother Jiang out of 5 million and beat him. After a group of managers finished speaking, Zhang got angry. He pointed at Jiang Chen and shouted, "You dare to do evil in your key in broad daylight. Are you trying to join the underworld? Come on, arrest him." After Zhang finished speaking, Jiang Chen did not move. He was very calm. His calmness came from his strength, but a group of people thought he was just pretending. Chapter 211 Watching is risky. Wait a minute, Chief Zhang. Right, Uncle Jiang. Let me ask you something. I'm alone and so thin. If I stand with brother Jiang, isn't it obvious who is involved in the underworld? Besides, our contract has been notarized at the notary office. You can go and ask. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Chief Zhang looked at the two strangers in the room. The two notaries wanted to die after seeing this. What should they say? Answer truthfully? Do they dare to answer truthfully? Well, Chief Zhang, that's not the case at all. We are just here to watch the fun. After the leading notary finished speaking, Jiang Chen raised his finger to the notarized materials and said, think carefully, the two of you. If the truth comes out later, your notary company will have to go bankrupt. That's right. If a notary company doesn't admit its own fault, is there any need for them to exist? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the two men hesitated, but after brother Jiang glared at them, the two hurriedly nodded and said, those are all fake materials. After the notary finished speaking, a group of people at the door wanted to flatter Chief Zhang, so they also shouted, that's right, we are all here, we can testify. The witnesses and evidence are all here, what else do you have to say? Take him away. Wait, I won't leave until Secretary Wang comes, he should be here. Jiang Chen looked at his phone while talking, and Chief Zhang sneered and said, what Secretary Wang is a dog secretary, even if the King of Heaven comes. Chief Zhang, who do you say is a dog secretary? Before Chief Zhang finished speaking, there was an angry shout from the crowd. Chief Zhang turned his head and was stunned when he saw Secretary Wang with an angry face. Wang, Secretary Wang, you. Chief Zhang was so scared that he trembled when he spoke. That's right, he never expected that the Secretary Wang Jiang Chen was talking about was the secretary of Governor Li. Don't call me Secretary Wang, call me Secretary Dog. Secretary Wang walked into the Xinmei travel agency while talking. When Zhang saw that Secretary Wang was really angry, he hurriedly apologized. Secretary Wang, I was so mean. I didn't know you were coming. If I knew you were coming, I would have to go to meet you in person. No, I dare not bother. I just came today to see who wants to mess with Li Province's distinguished guest. After Secretary Wang finished speaking, Brother Jiang and others were also scared. It was true that the reason they were so arrogant was because they relied on his uncle, but now his backers are much stronger than his uncle. Who is Li Province's distinguished guest? We don't have any distinguished guests from Li Province. If it was Li Province's distinguished guests, how dare we? Zhang, Secretary Wang is here. You can take me away now, but before you leave, can you tell me what crime I have committed? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Secretary Wang also looked at Zhang with a sullen face. Zhang was not stupid. How could he not know who the distinguished guest Secretary Wang was talking about? Misunderstanding. It's all misunderstanding. What's going on? Jiang, tell me. Don't worry, in Xin province, as long as you behave properly, we won't let anyone hurt you. After Secretary Wang finished speaking, Jiang Chen explained the whole story. At this moment, Chief Zhang's face changed. Not only Chief Zhang, but also Brother Jiang and others were so scared that they collapsed on the ground. Are you serious? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Secretary Wang's face was as gloomy as the dark clouds before the rain. After Secretary Wang finished speaking, he looked at Brother Jiang with a pair of eagle-like eyes. He never expected that someone would engage in underworld activities under their noses. No, I'm not involved in the underworld. I have always abided by the law. This time, Jiang Hui lied to me. I can't be involved in the underworld. Secretary Wang looked at Jiang Hui, and Jiang Hui also sat on the ground with a plop. He looked at Hen. He knew that once he was labeled as a member of the underworld, even gods could not save him. I didn't. He wanted to swallow Jiang Chen's shares. He made a bet with Jiang Chen. If Jiang Chen won, he would not let him go, and would beat him. He also teamed up with a group of managers to block Jiang Chen, and called Zhang to come. He just wanted to use the underworld to swallow Jiang Chen's shares. Jiang Hui told him everything in one go. Zhang was so scared that his clothes were soaked. If he was found out that he was a protector of the underworld, he would be finished. You are talking nonsense. When I came, you said he was a fraud, and the notary public can prove it. After Zhang said this, the two notaries were so sad that they could not even cry. What was going on? They had done the notarization honestly, but now they lied to please Zhang Shuo. Now that Zhang Shuo has a stronger backer, it doesn't matter if they lied, but the consequences. We did the notarization for Jiang Chen, and Zhang Xiang signed it voluntarily. Just now, you scared us, and we can only say that the notarization is fake. After the two notaries finished speaking, Zhang Shuo looked at Secretary Wang and almost peed in anxiety. I didn't scare them. I really didn't scare them. They said that Jiang Chen's notarization was fake. Okay, don't explain to me. Go to the integrity office to explain. Secretary Wang dialed the integrity office after the call was connected. Not long after the call was connected, several people from the integrity office came up and took Zhang Shuo away. China has always had a zero-tolerance attitude towards the underworld and its umbrellas. What China wants is to give the people a clear sky. Anyone who attempts to do evil in China will be greeted with the most severe blow. After Zhang was taken away, several special forces took Brother Xiang away as well. When Brother Xiang left, more than a dozen managers at the door were about to run away, but fortunately Jiang Chen stopped them in time. Secretary Wang, none of them can leave. Jiang Chen finished speaking, and Secretary Wang waved his hand, and a group of people were controlled. After being controlled, they still shouted at Secretary Wang, "We are not involved in the underworld. We are just here to watch the fun. What right do you have to arrest us?" Seeing that the managers wanted to quibble, Jiang Chen turned on the recording on his mobile phone. "Leave the contract there, otherwise, we will." What can you do to me if I don't put the contract? We can kill you. Are you involved in the underworld? What's wrong with being involved in the underworld? Come here, give me the contract. After the recording was played, a group of managers saw that Jiang Chen had recorded it, and they looked as hen. Now it's good. They originally came to watch and eat melons, but they never expected that watching is not authentic, and eating melons is risky. Do you have anything else to say? We were also forced by Brother Xiang. Go to the anti-gang office and tell them. Secretary Wang said, and a group of managers were taken away crying. We have nothing to do here. We are leaving first. Bye. The two notaries were about to leave when their boss came to the door. Seeing that they were late to come back to work, the boss thought that the two of them were cheating. What are you two doing? Does a notarization take so long? The boss was in his 30s, wearing a suit and a bow tie, with a round face, and a short beard, and he looked very smart. Notarization is done. Notarization is done. We'll go back right away. Right away. The two notaries wanted to leave after they said that, but Secretary Wang stopped them. Don't leave either. By the way, you are their boss, right? Your notarization company should be fair. Since you can't do this, don't open it. Secretary Wang called the Industry and Commerce Bureau after he said that, and several leaders of the Industry and Commerce Bureau came in a hurry. Chapter 212. Losing trust is miserable. After listening to Secretary Wang's words, the boss with a mustache was stunned for a moment. He looked at the two notaries with a puzzled look on his face. The two notaries' legs and feet began to tremble. What's going on? Boss, they notarized me, but when the police came, they said they didn't notarize me, and said my notarization was fake. You are the boss. Come and take a look at your notarization seal yourself. Jiang Chen handed the notarization materials to the boss. After he finished speaking, the boss took the notarization materials suspiciously, looked at them and said, "It's a notarization. What's wrong with you two? Tell me the truth." The boss was also nervous after he finished speaking. They are a notary company, and they value integrity. If their notary company is not fair, who would dare to find them? Boss, we were forced to tell lies by Zhang Xiang. We are innocent. After the two people finished speaking, the boss heard that they really told lies, and he immediately felt his blood boiling. It's over. You two bastards killed me. You have to compensate my company. You have to compensate my company. The round-faced boss picked up a stool and smashed it hard on the two notaries. The more he thought about it, the angrier he got. The harder he smashed it, because that was his hard work for more than 10 years. These 10 years of hard work were ruined by these two people. The two employees didn't dare to hide. After all, they did make a mistake, and this mistake was unforgivable. Don't hit them. Being a person is the same as doing business. You must always insist on integrity. People cannot stand without integrity, and the same is true for business. I hope you will reflect on it in the future. After Secretary Wang finished speaking, the round-faced boss sat on the ground and cried bitterly. The two employees didn't know how to comfort him. Jiang Chen felt sorry for him and said to him, "It's not your fault. You also hired the wrong people, but you can sue them, and they should compensate for your losses." After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the round-faced boss was overjoyed. Although the matter was a foregone conclusion, recovering the losses was the most important thing. Yes, I will sue you too. When the two employees heard this, they urinated in their pants with a poo-poo. Their legs went weak and urine flowed down their ankles to the ground. That's right, they are just ordinary workers. Asking them to pay the boss millions of dollars is simply asking for their lives. However, people have to pay the price for their mistakes. Otherwise, who will respect morality and bottom line? The people from the Industrial and Commercial Bureau came and revoked the business license of Zhao Yuantao's notary company. While the Industrial and Commercial Bureau was there, Jiang Chen happened to follow them to transfer Xinmui Travel Agency to his own name. At noon, it was almost time for lunch. Jiang Chen wanted to treat Secretary Wang to a meal to express his gratitude. Secretary Wang smiled and refused. Jiang Chen wanted to insist, but Secretary Wang said, "If I eat your meal, won't I become your umbrella?" Jiang Chen thought about it and felt that what Secretary Wang said made sense, so he respected Secretary Wang even more. At noon, Jiang Chen thanked Secretary Wang and said goodbye and returned to Mojiang. After returning to Mojiang, Jiang Chen asked his senior brother, Wang Can, a doctoral student in management from Peking University, to take over Xinmui Travel Agency. Jiang Chen talked with Wang Can for a long time, and finally the two worked out the future development direction of Xinmui Travel Agency. As a part of Sahara Enterprise, Xinmui Travel Agency will mainly serve Sahara scenic area. They will provide tourism services to tourists together with a ray of sunshine in Shangjing, but the difference between them and a ray of sunshine is that Xinmui Travel Agency will only provide tourism projects in Sahara scenic area. When the evening came, Jiang Chen started his live broadcast in the sunset. His purpose of starting the live broadcast was very simple. Tomorrow is the weekend, and the weekend is a good time for tourism, so he wants to promote his scenic spot again. Of course, he also wants to take this opportunity to promote his newly purchased travel agency. In a sea of roses, there are many tourists. Jiang Chen opened the live broadcast room, and soon his live broadcast room was flooded with tens of thousands of fans. Hello everyone, I'm Jiang Chen who loves farming. Time flies so fast. Tomorrow is the weekend. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, his fans quickly brushed the barrage. Mr. Big, good weekend. You can have a good rest at home on weekends. Laugh at life. By the way, host, have you watched the news? Today's flowers have sold roses at an incredible rate. The sales of roses at your Sahara shop have stagnated. Mayotaozi, that's right, host, go check the news. Today's flowers have reduced their roses to 5,000 yuan each. They sold tens of thousands of roses today. After several people finished talking, Jiang Chen opened his phone and saw a relevant report on Migu News. Migu News. Today's flowers and roses have been slashed in price, attracting netizens to buy them. The actual sales of Sahara roses have been in the single digit for 2 consecutive days. Flower News. The price of Sahara roses is firm, but the market is not optimistic. According to estimates by relevant financial institutions, if Sahara shop does not reduce prices for promotion, once the rose season is over, the flowers of Sahara roses will rot in the ground, and Sahara shop will lose hundreds of billions of roses. Northern Flower News. Sahara roses are in a dilemma of whether to reduce prices or not. If they do not reduce prices, it may be difficult to pay employees' wages. If they do reduce prices, their high-end brand image will completely collapse. Chaoyang News. Today's flowers, backed by the strong funds of Dajiang Venture Capital, continues to fight a price war with Sahara Rose. In this battle, capital giants such as Northern Capital and South China Jintao have also joined. Whether Sahara Rose can take on the blow of today's flowers will affect the market trend of high-end roses in the future. After Jiang Chen read a few news, he calmly closed Migu News. Deo, why is the anchor still so calm? Today's rose has said that it will squeeze you out of China within half a month. Jiang Chen along. That's right. Although we want to support your roses, the price gap is too big. Many of us are working class, and we are a little. There is an obsession in our hearts. Although we have money, we can buy 6 flowers at today's flowers if we buy 1 here. So, looking at everyone's messages, Jiang Chen smiled. He had long known that Zhu Chan was despicable. He wanted to drag himself to death. Once the roses could not be sold, he would not be able to repay the loan, and then they could take away his scenic spot at once. However, they underestimated themselves. It is impossible to reduce the price. My Sahara rose is a high-end product, so the price will not drop by a penny. However, since Today Flowers relies on so much capital to help it to fight a price war with me, I will accompany it to the end. Yanning, how can you fight with them without reducing the price? Yijian, it's not that we want to buy cheap roses, we are just worried. Don't worry, I just want to tell you something. I have acquired a travel agency, and there are branches in major provincial capitals across the country. In order to promote my travel agency, from now on, that is, from the moment I say this, all tourists who sign up for the Mojiang Bermuda tour group through my travel agency can sign up for free with a Sahara rose ticket. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, a group of fans cheered instantly. Blood pumping, great. I'm going to travel. If I buy roses, I can travel for free, saving 10,000 yuan at once. Dr. Sheng Xiao, that's right. Saving 10,000 yuan at once, 2 months salary. Bahuang chat group, I'll place an order. The wind in the corner, I'll place an order too. Chapter 213 Old Iron 666. Wait, do you think this is my bottom line? No. For all tourists who come to my scenic spot, I will give a bag of rose petals worth 15,000 yuan for free. Not only that, I will also give a bag of sleep grass worth 3,000 yuan. In the live broadcast room, Jiang Chen finished speaking, and a group of people became even more excited. After hearing that Jiang Chen was offering a big reward, Jiang Chen's live broadcast room soon exceeded 10 million people, and it was still rising by millions. Emperor, this is so exciting. Let me ask, if I buy a rose, and then go to your scenic spot for free through your travel agency, can I still get rose petals and sleep grass? Salted fish, same question. Caterpillar, same question. You can get both at the same time. By the way, my new travel agency is called Xinmui Travel Agency. You can place an order to buy roses tonight, and you can go to Xinmui Travel Agency to handle the procedures tomorrow morning. Xinmui Travel Agency will arrange a time for everyone. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, his screen was filled with 666. Emperor, this is really great. Buy a rose worth 30,000 yuan, save more than 10,000 yuan in travel agency fees, and get 15,000 yuan worth of rose petals, and also get 3,000 yuan worth of sleep grass. So this rose is equivalent to spending only 3,000 yuan. Hunzi, that's right, the rose here is 3,000 yuan, and today's flowers are 5,000 yuan, which is cheaper than today's roses. One-handed typing, it is indeed cheaper than today's flowers. I won't say more. Seeing that the anchor is so sincere, I will place an order. Ying's hanking deng, let's place the order. I can save tens of thousands of yuan at once. I will take the whole family there later. Full-time writing, I heard that people who went on a trip said that your scenic spot is a paradise. Is it so exaggerated? Haha, I peed when I laughed. Yes, I have always been curious. Yesterday, I looked at the competition rankings of tourist attractions. Mojiang Scenic Area suddenly topped the list, and there was not a single bad review in all the comments. I was scared to death at that time. I want to find a partner this year. How much you love to pee. However, I also looked at the rankings yesterday, and I was also wondering at the time, how could there be no bad reviews for a scenic spot? Exclamation mark. However, the tourism competition rankings are all based on votes, so there can't be fake review 0.5. Yes, it can't be faked. This is the only non-5-star scenic spot with all 5-star reviews. Chenku, you have to go and see it. I don't believe there is a place with all 5-star reviews. Looking at everyone's comments, Jiang Chen smiled. Indeed, his scenic spot is perfect. Even if there are some minor flaws in food and accommodation, it can't hide the charm of his scenic spot. Whether it is good or not, you will know when you come. By the way, I forgot to tell you that there is no signal in my scenic spot, so you can only take pictures or videos and send them to Moments, and you can't video chat with friends. Therefore, if you want to see the purest scenery, you should come and experience it yourself. 30,000 yuan is indeed expensive for a lower class citizen, but China is a wealthy country. The average annual income of Chinese people is as high as 150,000 yuan. Moreover, the middle and upper classes of society have an annual income of more than 500,000 yuan. Asking them to pay 30,000 yuan is just a drizzle for them. Of course, Jiang Chen dared to lower the price so much. He also had his own considerations. Jiang Chen's roses are not like the roses of today's flowers, which have costs. Today's flowers have to import roses from France. The cost of one rose plus tariffs and insurance is 10,000. If he sells it for 5,000, he will lose 5,000 yuan for one rose. But it's different for me. Jiang Chen's roses have almost no cost. His roses mainly need money for packaging, picking and transportation. Even so, Jiang Chen's roses cost only 100 yuan from the factory to the hands of tourists. If he sells it for 30,000 yuan, the net profit is more than 29,900 yuan per rose. One rose is free of one person's ticket. After deducting the round-trip travel expenses and their food expenses, he can earn at least 24,000 to 25,000 yuan per person. If he promotes it in this way, he will not only earn 24,000 to 25,000 yuan per person, but also keep his own brand and further promote the reputation of his new America travel agency. This is a sure win. Just as Jiang Chen was calculating his gains and losses, someone suddenly swiped a bullet message on his phone. Beauty in the Sun. Hello, host. I want to ask, if I buy Blue Rose, will there be any other discounts? Listen to the past with your heart. Yes, I want to ask this question too. Dad and sadness, there must be discounts. A Blue Rose was originally sold for 240,000 yuan, based on the host's reward record. Now all roses are not discounted, and Blue Rose has returned to its original price of 250,000 yuan. It must have other discounts for such an expensive rose. A group of people talked about Blue Rose. Jiang Chen thought about it. What discounts can this Blue Rose give them? There are discounts. A Blue Rose can make the person you send it to get a free ticket. In addition, our scenic spot has specially prepared super VIP services for this kind of super VIP, including first class cabins, VIP tour guides, the most beautiful habitats and other services. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, a group of customers who were ready to buy Blue Rose became happy. That's right, they bought Blue Rose, just like they took first class cabins. What they want is status. Beauty in the sun, that's great. By the way, I have more than a dozen friends who are interested in buying Blue Rose. Let's place an order and travel directly next weekend. After answering the tourists' questions, night fell and Jiang Chen turned off the live broadcast. At night, Jiang Chen looked at his phone and remembered what he had told Fat Tiger during the day, so he drove towards Mojiang. When Jiang Chen arrived at Mojiang, Fat Tiger had been waiting in the van on the border for a long time. As soon as Jiang Chen's car stopped, Fat Tiger shouted, "Brother Jiang, we've got the people." Jiang Chen drove his Mercedes-Benz and the van into the depths of the desert without saying a word. After driving for 2.5 hours, Jiang Chen finally arrived at the outermost windbreak of the windbreak. At this moment, although it was night, there was still some moonlight on the windbreak, which was sometimes there and sometimes not. The strong wind swept the sand and blew the windbreak from time to time. The outermost windbreak had long been invaded by the sand. Brother Jiang, are we really going to throw them into the desert? Just throw them, if I tell you to. Jiang Chen said as several people went up and threw the knocked out Huang Mao, Scar Monkey, Dwarf Pig and others into the windy sand forest. After Jiang Chen threw them down, he stuffed a note into Huang Mao's pocket and drove away. The next day, just after dawn, Jiang Chen washed up in the scenic area and drove to Mojiang Airport to pick up Song Jiaqi. When they arrived at Fangjin Airport, although it was early in the morning, the airport was crowded with people. Jiang Chen was surprised that there were so many people at this small airport in a remote area. Tourists from Shanghai, listen up, hurry up and catch up with the team, don't go the wrong way. Tourists from Shanghai, gather here. Tourists from Heching, remember your hats are green, remember they are green. Tourists from Jizhou, get on the bus quickly. Oh my god, are there so many tourists? Jiang Chen looked at the tourists all over the airport and didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Why couldn't you guys come a day earlier? If you had come a day earlier, I wouldn't have wasted my 10 billion. Chapter 214, National First Love Song Jackie. Jiang Chen waited at the airport for more than half an hour before he picked up Song Jackie. During this half an hour, Fangzhen Airport had no less than a dozen flights taking off and landing, but even so, the number of tourists could not be fully loaded. In the airport terminal, Jiang Chen recognized Song Jackie walking towards him at a glance. Song Jackie's long wine red hair was slightly curled and cascading down, which made her look somewhat intellectual. Her expression was as cold as ice, with slender eyebrows, dark eyeshadow, and black eyes covered by long eyelashes that flashed a different light. Jiang Chen looked at Song Jackie and was stunned for a moment. In Jiang Chen's impression, she always had the makeup of a working woman, but he didn't expect her to be so charming when she wore high boots. Mr. Song? Jiang Chen called out to Song Jackie, and Song Jackie also recognized Jiang Chen in the crowd. After all, Jiang Chen's handsomeness was like the most beautiful star at the airport. The moment she saw Jiang Chen, Song Jackie was also a little surprised. She had only seen Jiang Chen in live broadcasts, but she didn't expect that Jiang Chen in real life was actually much more handsome than in live broadcasts. "Hello," Song Jackie said, and walked straight over. Behind her was an old man in his 50s. The old man was dressed very fashionably, like a young man in his 20s. "Who is this?" "I'm her father. The young man is not bad. He is young and handsome and a good match for my daughter." Before Song Jackie could speak, the old man patted Jiang Chen on the shoulder and introduced himself. Jiang Chen was a little embarrassed. Song Jackie was so cold, her father seemed. "Dad, what did I tell you when I came here? Okay, you only know how to go to work every day. What's the use of a girl working hard? How old are you, and you still don't have a partner? If your mother is in hell, goodbye." After Song Jackie finished speaking, she turned around and left with the password box. The old man shut up. "Okay, I won't say anything, okay? You leave me alone at home every day, and you promised to take me out for a walk, but it's been 3 or 4 years. You haven't been with me for 3 or 4 years. Can't I say a few more words when I just come out?" After the old man finished speaking, Jiang Chen seemed to understand something, and he hurriedly persuaded him. "That's right, since you are here, how can you leave without taking a look? Mr. Song, my car is parked outside, let's go." After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the old man also said, "Jackie, you are not as good as Zhao Jiang. Okay, if you talk about finding a partner again, I will leave immediately." Jiang Chen helped the old man carry the luggage and put it on the back seat of the car. The three of them got in the car and set off towards the scenic spot facing the morning glow. The car passed the high-speed railway station. There were more than 200 buses parked in the square in front of the high-speed railway station. The buses were busy with tourists. As soon as the buses drove out of the high-speed railway station, another bus drove into the high-speed railway station. "Young man, your scenic spot is very popular." "Not bad. Young man, didn't you go to college?" "I dropped out of Tsinghua or Peking University." "Wow, it's Tsinghua or Peking University." Jackie didn't get in, even though she wanted to. Jiang Chen looked up at the rearview mirror. Song Jackie's delicate face and elegant temperament in the rearview mirror couldn't hide his embarrassment at the moment. For some reason, every time Jiang Chen looked back, he always found that Song Jackie's face, the nation's first love, looked very similar to the big star Du Juanhua in China. However, Song Jackie's face was blue and red at the moment. If possible, Jiang Chen thought that Song Jackie would definitely slam the door and leave. It's not easy to get into Tsinghua and Peking University. By the way, young man, where are you from? You don't sound like you're from Xinjiang. I'm from Wanjiang. Where are your parents? Dad, can you be quiet for a while? Song Jiaqi said angrily, and the old man said angrily, I'm not talking to you. Why are you scolding me? You'll affect other people's driving, do you know? Song Jiaqi said in a bad mood, and the old man finally quieted down. Song Jiaqi sighed. If she didn't interrupt him, he didn't know how many shortcomings he would reveal about himself. The car arrived at the scenic area. The entrance of the scenic area was full of large trucks waiting to enter the scenic area. Jiang Chen looked at the buses parked at the entrance. He estimated that the number of tourists that day must exceed 10,000. Wait, we have to buy tickets. No need to buy tickets. That won't work. You're not Jiaqi's boyfriend, so how can I let you buy tickets? Sit tight and I'll buy them, okay? Song Jiaqi was about to open the car door, and Jiang Chen hurriedly shouted, Mr. Song, no, I'll take you in. We won't go with the tour group. I'll take you to some scenic spots that haven't been opened yet. Jiang Chen had thought about it before Song Jiaqi came. This time, Song Jiaqi could come, and he decided to show her all the strength of his scenic spot, so as to strengthen their determination to promote themselves on Chili Live. In the early morning, Jiang Chen drove all the way to the Rose scenic area, which was crowded with people. Looking at the roses all over the mountains, Song Jiaqi, the goddess of first love, couldn't help but smile. Seeing that she liked it, Jiang Chen specially picked a few blue enchantresses and gave them to Song Jiaqi. The car left the Rose scenic area, and Song Jiaqi smelled the fragrance of blue enchantresses. She seemed to be intoxicated in the spring breeze of love. After leaving the Rose scenic area, Jiang Chen drove all the way to the Apricot scenic area. When night fell, Jiang Chen did not choose to go to the Bermuda oasis. He drove all the way to the desert ranch. The car passed through a green grassland that could not be seen at a glance. The green of the grassland really shocked Song Jiaqi and the others. Wow, what a beautiful grassland. I can't believe this is a death desert. The evening wind lifted Song Jiaqi's long hair. The three of them drove towards the sunset and drove all the way to the end of the road. When night fell, Jiang Chen turned to the desert poppy scenic area. The great lights in the poppy scenic area lit up, and the whole world fell into a world of colorful flowers. At night, several people lay on the grass in the poppy scenic area and admired the stars in the sky. The stars in the sky were like naughty children blinking their bright eyes. The old man Cheo, who had been rejoicing all day, had fallen asleep. He slept soundly on the grass. Jiang Chen accompanied Song Jiaqi to walk on the path. The two talked about the past while walking, and couldn't help laughing when they were happy. Jiang Chen realized that not every cold goddess is cold at heart. She just hasn't met the person who can melt her. Jiang Chen, I'm not here just to take my dad out for a walk this time. It was late at night, and the two were a little tired. Jiang Chen was about to go back. Song Jiaqi looked at him with a pair of beautiful eyes under the street light. The dim light made her face look even more beautiful. Anything else? Maoya just got an investment. They are going to sign Li Suan, the most beautiful girl in Hanchao country, to come to China. So, you should be prepared. Our Chile may continue to be sluggish for a while. After Song Jiaqi finished speaking, Jiang Chen was also shocked when he heard that Li Suan, the most beautiful girl in Hanchao country, was coming to China. You know, Li Suan is very popular. Li Suan is known as the most pure beauty in Asia. When she dances live, at least 50 to 60 million people watch her online at the same time. This is in Korea. If it comes to China, with so many viewers, it will be hundreds of millions of clicks in a minute. Although he was unsure, Jiang Chen was unwilling to give in front of Song Jiaqi, so Jiang Chen looked at Song Jiaqi and said, don't worry, no matter if she is the most beautiful woman, as long as she comes, I dare to make her fail in China. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Song Jiaqi smiled. Under the starry sky, she stretched out her hand and shook hands with Jiang Chen. Her hand was a little warm. Chapter 215, Killing the Donkey. Confidence is good after all. Seeing Jiang Chen's promise, Song Jiaqi looked back at Jiang Chen's scenic spot. With Jiang Chen's dreamlike scenic spot, Song Jiaqi also believed that Jiang Chen could defeat Li Suan. So she looked at Jiang Chen, nodded and said, directly is going to sign a top domestic anchor to compete with her. I think I will convince him to change his mind. Late at night, Jiang Chen was sleeping soundly on the lawn. Song Jiaqi was not used to sleeping on the grass, so she rested alone in the car. After waking up in the morning and washing up, Jiang Chen took them to visit the sunflower garden and several other scenic spots. It was not until the evening that Song Jiaqi left. There was not much sadness in the farewell, because Jiang Chen knew that they would see each other again. After Jiang Chen sent Song Jiaqi to the airport, the old man still held Jiang Chen's hand and asked Jiang Chen to consider whether to date Song Jiaqi. Song Jiaqi quickly pulled him away. After seeing Song Jiaqi off, the wind in Mojiang was very strong in the evening. However, what was strange was that there was no sandstorm in Mojiang County this year. At this time of year in previous years, the sandstorm in Mojiang had already swept the entire Xinan area. It's time to go see Huang Mao. Jiang Chen got in the car and drove his Mercedes all the way to the windbreak forest in the Bermuda scenic area. After arriving at the windbreak forest, Huang Mao and others saw Jiang Chen coming. They were hiding behind the giant cactus in the desert and almost cried. Although there were only 2 days, Huang Mao and others were now in tattered clothes. Their hair was so dirty that it could be tangled, and their faces were also broken by the sandstorm. There was blood flowing from the corners of their mouths. Brother Jiang, we will never dare to go against you again. Take us away. Huang Mao knelt on the ground with a plop as he spoke. The evening sandstorm blew again. When the strong wind blew, the few people who did not kneel down were instantly blown away like balls. Jiang Chen left them in the windbreak for 2 days, just to let them know how terrible his sandstorm was. Do you know you are wrong? You guys are against me every day. Do you really think I'm afraid of you? You are not against me, you are against yourselves. Not only that, you are against the whole of China. Jiang Chen was right. They now think they can make some money by helping Zhu Chang. But if Jiang Chen's scenic area collapses and the sandstorm is not blocked, will their homes still be safe? Jiang Chen roared, and the yellow-haired man, who was about to collapse, had no fighting spirit to resist. He knelt on the ground and begged for mercy. I know I'm wrong. Can you take me away? We really can't stand it. When this strong sandstorm blows, such a big cactus is blown off, and our skin is about to fall off. Huang Mao's Mandarin was not standard when he was excited, but it can be seen that he was indeed on the verge of collapse. Okay, I'll let you go this time, but if there's a next time, I'll make sure you die without a burial place. Jiang Chen said fiercely, and several yellow-haired people nodded and swore, we will never make trouble again in the future. After several people made promises, Jiang Chen opened the car door and let them get in the car, and sent them back to Mojiang overnight. Late at night, when Jiang Chen was about to go to bed, there was a sudden ding-dong sound, and Jiang Chen's WeChat rang. In the car, Jiang Chen opened WeChat, and saw that it was from Song Jiaqi. Your money will be paid to you tomorrow. By the way, I'm sorry, when I returned to Hangzhou, Mr. Li had already signed the top domestic anchor Feng Mushroom, so in the future, your live broadcast may not be recommended on the homepage. Be prepared. Jiang Chen was a little surprised when he looked at Song Jiaqi's message. He never expected that Mr. Li would not support himself as an outdoor god, but would actually pull a singing anchor to compete with Mao Aya. However, who cares? Anyway, his scenic spot has been promoted, and what he has to do now is to continue to maintain the activity of the scenic spot. After turning off his phone, Jiang Chen fell asleep with the wind blowing on the grassland. In early June, the storm broke through the fourth line of defense built by Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen could already smell the wind and sand from far away on the outer ring road. In the early morning, the sun was already a little scorching, and the temperature in the scenic area was still suitable. When Jiang Chen woke up, Chili Live had already given Jiang Chen money. In May, Jiang Chen's total reward income exceeded 100 million yuan. According to the agreement they signed at the beginning, Jiang Chen had 80% of the reward share, so Jiang Chen received 80 million yuan. After deducting taxes, Jiang Chen received more than 60 million yuan. After receiving the money, Jiang Chen finally understood why Mr. Li was unwilling to continue to support him. Today's Chili Live is no longer the Chili that was suppressed by Mao Yap and couldn't stand up. It has become the boss of the live broadcast industry, and they are now in urgent need of profit, and the best way to make a profit is to use their own traffic to support newcomers with lower share. However, Jiang Chen didn't care about them. Since the money was in hand, Jiang Chen couldn't sit idle, so when night came, Jiang Chen drove quietly and set off. He planned to plant street lights all over the outer ring road of the Bermuda scenic area. Jiang Chen estimated that his outer ring road was more than 110 miles long. Because it was an outer ring road, there was a street light every 20 meters. This kilometer required 50 street lights, and 110 kilometers required 5,500 street lights. If 5,500 street lights were installed on both sides of the road, that would be 11,000 street lights. Each street light cost 1,000 yuan, which would cost more than 11 million yuan. Jiang Chen recharged the money and chose to plant street lights directly on the outer ring road. After the street lights were planted, Jiang Chen looked at the lit street lights illuminating the entire outer ring road, and he was so happy. After finishing the street lights on the outer ring road, Jiang Chen saw that it was still early, so he continued to drive towards the grassland ranch scenic area. Now his grassland ranch scenic area has been built, but there are no street lights. The grassland scenic area is very large, and there are many roads. Jiang Chen calculated for more than an hour before he figured out the number of street lights needed in the grassland scenic area. The grassland scenic area, which is half the size of a county, has no less than 300 miles of roads, and the required street lights are nearly 35,000 street lights. Are more than 35 million. Jiang Chen paid the money and clicked the one-click planting. When the street lights were lit in the entire grassland scenic area, Jiang Chen's share of the live broadcast reward money was less than 15 million. At this moment, Jiang Chen still had no street lights for the entire number 2 highway. The number 2 highway is more than 200 miles long. It is an important bridge connecting the grassland ranch and the Mojiang Free Trade Zone. So in the night, Jiang Chen drove a car and directly purchased more than 15 million street lights to plant street lights on the entire number 2 highway. Not only that, the X road between the 2 highways was also planted with street lights. After the street lights came on, Jiang Chen became a pauper once again. But even if he was a pauper, Jiang Chen still thought he was a rich pauper who let him own a scenic spot worth trillions. However, he didn't know when this scenic spot worth billions would pay him back. But Jiang Chen believed that he would soon find a way to make a lot of money from them. Chapter 216. Doing a side job. It was late at night. After planting the street lights, Jiang Chen's phone rang. Jiang Chen knew that his mission of 10,000 tourists was completed. Ding dong. System prompt. Congratulations to the player for completing the mission of 10,000 tourists. The player will receive a new seed. Sure enough, Jiang Chen guessed correctly. The system sent him a new seed again. Jiang Chen clicked on the seed column, and a strange looking seed appeared in front of him. This seed looked like a large rectangular tank with several small pools in it. What is this? Jiang Chen was very surprised. Is it a pool? What use do I have for a pool? System introduction. Congratulations on obtaining the super garbage treatment plant seed. The super garbage treatment plant can perfectly solve various garbage treatment problems in life. Any garbage will be turned into treasure after being treated in the garbage treatment pool. Wow. Garbage treatment plant. This system is too awesome. You should know that after Jiang Chen opened the tourist attraction, the garbage treatment problem was the most troublesome for him. The garbage now is different from the garbage in the past. Now a lot of garbage cannot be decomposed by nature, and it may even take decades or hundreds of years to decompose. Jiang Chen's scenic spot is so small that the garbage thrown by tens of thousands of tourists every day is either buried directly in the desert or transported to Mojiang for treatment. Burying in the desert will cause desert pollution. Deserts are difficult to manage. If there is secondary pollution, the desert will be even more hopeless. Moreover, even if it is transported to Mojiang for treatment, Mojiang does not have advanced equipment to treat a lot of chemical waste and hazardous waste. Their treatment method is also to bury it, which destroys the environment. Once the environment is destroyed, the desert will follow. This is a vicious cycle. However, now it's good. Jiang Chen has a garbage treatment plant. As long as he builds this garbage treatment plant, he will not be afraid of the desert being polluted by garbage in the future. Such a powerful garbage treatment plant must be very expensive. Jiang Chen said as he clicked on the seed price, and soon the price introduction popped up under the seed introduction. System prompt. The garbage treatment plant needs to use the most cutting-edge technology on the planet. At the same time, every part and equipment of the garbage treatment plant is extremely expensive, so the price of the desert super garbage treatment plant is very expensive. Just tell me the price. Why are you talking so much nonsense? Jiang Chen finished speaking, and then the system popped up the price. Price reminder, this super garbage treatment plant sets the price according to the size. A garbage treatment plant covering an area of 5 mu can process 10,000 tons of garbage per day, and the price is 1 million yuan. A garbage treatment plant covering an area of 100 mu can process 1 million tons of garbage per day, and the price is 10 million yuan. Oh my god. It's so cheap after all this talk. I thought a garbage treatment plant would cost 10 billion. In China, garbage treatment plants are expensive, especially in big cities. Each one is in the billions. Even so, those garbage treatment plants in China cannot solve white pollution such as plastic bags. Jiang Chen suppressed his inner ecstasy. He couldn't help but want to build one to experiment now, but he seemed to have. Go find the manager to turn around 100 million. Although Jiang Chen had no money, he knew that his scenic spot had at least 8,000 tourists today. Although these tourists did not buy tickets, they all bought roses. 8,000 people would have an income of 240 million. He would definitely have a problem if he borrowed 100 million first. After arriving in Mojiang, Guanku had not slept yet. In the meeting room of Sahara shop, Guanku was discussing things with several company executives. The money from the rose sales this time has to be paid to us tomorrow. We have rented a travel agency, at least 5 million. We have to pay the transportation company as well. We have hundreds of cars running these days, and the gas station accepts cash. Our packaging factory also needs to pay wages, so pay us first. Our rose petal factory has just built a factory building, which requires more than 4 million. Boss Guan, the bidding for our Sahara shop building has been completed, and now we have to pay the deposit. A group of people chase Guanku for money. Guanku sat on the sofa drinking a cup of coffee, thinking about something. Boss Jiang is here. Manager Hua shouted at the door, and soon a group of managers got up and greeted Jiang Chen. At night, when the room was quiet, the chirping of crickets outside the door became stronger. Jiang Chen had slept in the desert for so long, and had never heard the sound of insects. At this moment, he actually missed it. Boss Guan, I'm here to get some money, Jiang Chen said, and then he walked to the middle of the office and sat down. Manager K of the Roses Date online store brought Jiang Chen a bowl of hot noodles. The noodles were very fragrant. Jiang Chen knew it must be the noodles from Laokin Noodle House as soon as he smelled it. Boss Jiang, how much do you want? After Guanku finished speaking, his stomach growled. Jiang Chen motioned him to eat noodles. Several managers sat on the sofa and ate noodles together. Jiang Chen picked up a piece of mutton. The mutton was very delicious. It was indeed worthy of being the noodles of the king of Mojiang noodles. How much do you have? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guanku wiped the sweat from his forehead. He already vaguely knew that Jiang Chen might want to rip him off. The number of tourists has been good these days. We made money by selling roses and tickets a few days ago. Plus, there are many tourists today, more than 9,000 tourists, so the total is about 600 million now. Transfer 500 million to me, and you can divide the rest equally. By the way, there will be a lot of tourists tomorrow, so you can continue to divide the remaining amount tomorrow. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guanku's heart skipped a beat. Yes, he expected Jiang Chen to rip him off, but this was too much. You know, he is now in charge of the Sahara shop, and he has to spend tens of millions of dollars in salary every month. In addition, he also has to give a share to travel agencies, transportation companies, packaging companies, rose picking workers, and the scenic area operation group company. How can he get enough with only 100 million? Boss Jiang, it's the beginning of the month now, and our salaries for last month are all due. You asked me to manage the scenic area, the transportation company and several other units. Now the travel company also wants to get a share of my money. I'm afraid that leaving me only 100 million is not enough. After Guanku finished speaking, Jiang Chen slurped a noodle with a slurp and drank a mouthful of soup with some satisfaction and said, Manager Guan, you have to believe me, there may be tens of thousands of tourists tomorrow. Tens of thousands of tourists means 300 million. You can definitely handle it. That's it. I'm going to go out and do some work. I'll charge my card later. The card number has not changed. Jiang Chen quickly finished his noodles and turned to walk out of the Sahara shop meeting room. After leaving the Sahara shop meeting room, Jiang Chen received a transfer from Guanku not long after, and at the same time Guanku called him. Jiang Chen answered the phone, and Guanku said anxiously on the phone, Boss Jiang, I have to tell you something. It's not a long-term solution for us to just sell roses. We must do some side business. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 217, Creating a Water Source. When it comes to sideline business, Jiang Chen immediately thought of the mineral water factory. That's right, if we talk about a business that makes a lot of money, mineral water is definitely the first. And it's still hot now, and tourists need a lot of water. If Jiang Chen can make mineral water as soon as possible, he can make a lot of money this summer. You are talking about the mineral water company, right? President Guan, I will take care of the water source, and you take care of the factory. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guan nodded and said, okay. As long as our water can be sold, if it is popular all over the country, not to mention supporting our employees, Brother Jiang can make as much money as he wants. After Guan finished speaking, the two of them divided the work, and under the moonlight, Jiang Chen drove directly to the Mojiang development zone. The night in Mojiang in June was very quiet, and the night sky full of stars seemed particularly comfortable. After rushing to the development zone, under the moonlight, Jiang Chen found the empty lake they had dug in advance and began to build a reservoir. The reservoir is located in the desert at the southernmost part of the development zone. The reservoir covers an area of more than 600 acres and is an extremely large lake. Under the starry sky, Jiang Chen first clicked to buy more than 1,000 acres of Bermuda grass seedlings and directly planted Bermuda grass around the reservoir. These lawn seedlings cost Jiang Chen 66 million, plus the cost of planting, nearly 70 million. After buying the lawn seedlings, Jiang Chen directly purchased 200 acres of desert reeds, which cost him more than 33 million. After he planted the desert reeds in the reservoir with one click, the deep reservoir was soon filled with patches of green reeds more than 3 meters high. The reeds swayed in the wind, and a rustling sound could be heard from afar. After planting desert reeds, Jiang Chen directly bought desert giant cacti that circled the lake twice. The cacti cost him more than 3 million. After Jiang Chen planted the cacti around the lake, he also planted a circle of roads around the lake. The road around the lake of more than 600 acres directly cost him 170 million. Then Jiang Chen led it to Highway 1, which cost Jiang Chen more than 70 million. When the road was planted, Jiang Chen had to plant street lights again. The street lights around the lake plus the street lights leading to Highway 1 added up to more than 11 million. Fortunately, Jiang Chen took advantage of the more than 11 million to build a large village. After all, Jiang Chen had to settle people here to take care of the reservoir. After everything was planted, it was already dawn, and Jiang Chen calculated that he had spent 311 million directly that night. Hey, this water plant hasn't been built yet. The water source alone cost more than 300 million. Add the water plant, and this beverage factory must start at 10 billion. Jiang Chen knew that he had to solve the problem of drinking water. Now all the water in the Sahara Desert is pulled from Aishi. Although the water is not expensive, the toll is expensive. In the future, Jiang Chen will have his own water source. He will build another water plant in the Bermuda lawn and another water plant in the pasture area. Then the water in his scenic area can basically be self-sufficient. He solved the water problem, and his lifeline was in his own hands. In the early morning, when the first ray of sunlight shone on the earth, Jiang Chen turned on his mobile phone. He knew it was time to plant a garbage treatment plant. After all, the garbage in the water needs to be treated, and the garbage of the residents will also need to be treated in the future. Then I will build a small garbage treatment station next to the village of Mojiang Reservoir. After Jiang Chen said this, he directly charged 1 million to buy a small garbage treatment plant covering an area of 5 acres. After buying the seeds, Jiang Chen planted it directly next to the planned small village. After clicking on the planting button, a golden light landed on the ground, and soon a garbage treatment plant grew up at a speed visible to the naked eye. This garbage treatment plant looked like a quadrangle, with a large open space in the middle where the garbage trucks were parked. There was a row of 2-story buildings around the garbage trucks. Jiang Chen walked in, and found that it was the control room and management office of the garbage plant. There was a particularly large factory building directly opposite the control room, which was where the garbage was processed. Jiang Chen walked into the factory building, which had a row of parallel pools, and each pool was labeled dry garbage, wet garbage, hazardous garbage, recyclable garbage, etc. Garbage is also classified? Jiang Chen was a little surprised. You know, in his hometown, garbage is also classified, but no matter how you classify it, in the end all the garbage will be dumped into a car, and then taken away. Classification is a good thing. Garbage classification can remove recyclable and non-degradable materials, reducing the amount of garbage by more than 60%. And classification can also reduce pollution. You know, most of the garbage is landfilled. If it is not classified, the garbage will pile up together, flies will fly around, sewage will overflow, and the stench will be overwhelming, seriously polluting the environment. Jiang Chen finished speaking. In order to test the effect of his garbage disposal plant, Jiang Chen also deliberately threw a pile of used plastic bags in the car into the garbage disposal pool. You know, this white garbage bag is the most difficult to degrade. It takes dozens or even hundreds of years for it to be degraded by itself. If his garbage disposal plant can degrade it instantly, then he really doesn't have to worry about the problem of pollution. While Jiang Chen was talking, the plastic bags in the garbage pool had been sucked into the garbage disposal center. Then his garbage disposal plant started to operate quickly. Jiang Chen was a little puzzled. Is this garbage disposal plant automatic? And does it not need electricity? Jiang Chen walked into the yard. He looked up and found that the roofs around him were full of solar panels. He figured it out in an instant. Yes, this treatment plant must use the same charging panels as street lamps. When this charging panel is fully charged, the amount of electricity is simply amazing. What does the garbage look like after it is processed? Jiang Chen walked towards the last row of houses at the garbage treatment station with curiosity. The last row was also a factory building, made of special materials. The door of the factory building was written, Waste to Treasure Workshop. Pushing the door of the workshop, there were also several large pools in the workshop, and the pools were covered with different labels. Dry garbage recycling pool, wet garbage recycling pool, hazardous waste recycling pool, treatment water pool, etc. Jiang Chen walked to the dry garbage pool, where his plastic bag was. When he walked to the pool, Jiang Chen looked inside and saw that there were dozens of neatly placed garbage bags in the clean pool. Oh my, it's amazing. It turns the discarded garbage bags into new garbage bags again. Looking at the garbage bags in the pool, Jiang Chen reached out and picked them up. He wanted to reconfirm whether these garbage bags were redegraded or simply washed clean. When he confirmed that a pile of garbage bags were redegraded, he almost jumped up. Great, absolutely great. Chapter 218 Give me 3 billion. Jiang Chen was very excited. That's right. With this garbage disposal plant, he could even save the money to make new garbage bags. I'll try something else. Jiang Chen took out the batteries from the flashlight. He ran to the disposal workshop and threw the batteries into the garbage disposal pool. Soon he ran to the waste to treasure workshop. Sure enough, several new batteries appeared in the corresponding garbage pool. Jiang Chen put the batteries into the flashlight, and his flashlight seemed to be brighter than before. How amazing. It actually has the ability to process automatically. Wait, what if I throw the restaurant's garbage in there? Jiang Chen thought of this and hurried to the car. to throw the disposable chopsticks and a bowl of noodles he had just eaten into several garbage pools. He ran to the waste 2 treasure workshop at the back. The slag in the workshop disappeared, but the disposable chopsticks produced wood pulp, and the discarded noodle water became clear water. It's really amazing. Looking at the garbage disposal plant, Jiang Chen suddenly saw a huge business opportunity. China uses 4 billion plastic fast food boxes, 500 to 700 million instant noodle bowls, and billions of pairs of disposable chopsticks every year, which account for 15% of domestic garbage, 30%-40% of domestic garbage can be recycled. Various solid wastes mixed together are garbage, but they are resources when they are sorted. If Jiang Chen can transport all these garbage to his garbage treatment plant, how many fast food boxes and instant noodle bowls can he recycle every year? Not only that, 1 ton of waste plastic can be recycled into 600 kilograms of diesel. Recycling 1,500 tons of waste paper can avoid cutting down trees used to produce 1,200 tons of paper. 1 ton of cans can be melted into 1 ton of good aluminum blocks, which can reduce the mining of 20 tons of aluminum or other substances in the garbage. Can also be converted into resources, such as food, plants, and fabrics can be composted to produce organic fertilizers, bricks, and tiles. Ash and soil can be processed into building materials, etc. If Jiang Chen transports all these things to his garbage treatment plant, he can make tens of billions of dollars every year just by recycling garbage. Not only that, he helped China deal with the garbage, and the cost of this treatment is no less than 10 billion a year. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen planned to plan a super garbage treatment center, which would be responsible for handling the garbage transported from China. However, before building the garbage plant, Jiang Chen had to fill his own scenic area with garbage treatment plants. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen drove away from the Mojiang Reservoir. After leaving the Mojiang Reservoir, Jiang Chen drove straight to the Bermuda Scenic Area. In the Bermuda Scenic Area, Jiang Chen planted super garbage treatment plants in various scenic spots. After planting more than 30 small garbage treatment plants in the Bermuda Scenic Area, Jiang Chen drove towards the desert grassland. When passing by the sanatorium, Jiang Chen also planted a 100-acre garbage treatment plant in the sanatorium. After all, the sanatorium will have to deal with a lot of medical waste in the future, so he can't simply mix it with other garbage. In the desert grassland scenic area, Jiang Chen kept planting until dark, before he finished planting the waste treatment plant in the grassland scenic area. He built 40 small waste treatment plants in the entire grassland scenic area. After all, they would have to deal with animal feces, villagers' domestic waste, etc. There is a waste treatment plant at almost every intersection in the grassland pasture, and the waste treatment plant can produce fertilizers, and the roads in front of the treatment plant can just transport these fertilizers to various parts of the grassland. After planting the super waste treatment plant in the grassland, Jiang Chen drove to the military camp to plant a super waste treatment plant, and then planted a small waste treatment plant at the cement and gravel factory on Road X. After everything was planted, Jiang Chen's 600 million yuan was only 210 million left. But Jiang Chen couldn't keep this little money, because he had to buy cement and gravel for the cement factory and the gravel factory. Now his cement and gravel are very popular. In just a few days, Manager Mu has monopolized the market in Yi City. Now the big trucks carrying cement rarely stop all day long. At night, after everyone fell asleep, Jiang Chen rushed to the cement factory on X Road and planted 100 million yuan of stones and 100 million yuan of cement. He only had 10 million yuan left in his pocket. Under the starry sky, Jiang Chen was sighing. That money was really hard to spend when his cell phone rang again. It can't be that the system boss sent it again. New seeds come every day, which makes this worker overwhelmed. Jiang Chen said as he turned on his cell phone. Sure enough, his guess was right. It was another message from the system. Task reminder, attract 20,000 tourists and you will get a new building material seed. In addition, if the scenic spot is upgraded to a 4A scenic spot, you will get an ordinary seed. Oh my god, 2 tasks are released in a row? The task of attracting 20,000 tourists is easy to complete. After all, he is now offering discounts. Moreover, He estimated that his roses can be sold for at least 1 month. However, this upgrades a scenic spot to a 4A scenic spot. How can it be upgraded? Forget it. Let's make money first and use it to green the vacant land in the Bermuda scenic area. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen drove towards Mojiang County. He planned to ask Guan Ku for some more money and build a few more reservoirs in the Bermuda scenic area. At the same time, he also planned to build another reservoir in the military camp and the desert grassland. The grassland also needs 4 or 5 reservoirs. In this way, he needs at least 10 reservoirs. One reservoir starts at 300 million, which is 3 billion. At 10 o'clock in the evening, Jiang Chen pushed the door to the president's office of Sahara shop on the 2nd floor of the Rose Date online store. The financial officer in the office was calculating with Guan Cubic. Guan Ku saw Jiang Chen coming and hurriedly interrupted the financial officer. Wait for the calculation. The financial officer looked back at Jiang Chen and he hurriedly stood up, greeted him, and left quickly. President Guan, wasn't I right? How many hundreds of millions did we make today? Ahem. Brother Jiang, there were quite a few tourists today and we made less than 300 million. However, the money has just been distributed and there are still more than 50 million left in my company, but I paid them all out as salaries. After Guan Ku finished speaking, he made it seem like Jiang Chen was here to ask for his money. We need money recently. It should be no problem to save up 3 billion within a week. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guan Ku almost fell to his knees when he heard 3 billion. Brother Jiang, we don't have that much money now. Our scenic spot makes money from these roses. These roses have to support not only the entire scenic spot, but also a travel agency and even the cement company. Moreover, the rose petal factory has to be expanded recently, which has cost a lot of money. In addition, our Sahara shop headquarters has to be built, which requires an investment of several hundred million. So, Brother Jiang, I really can't do it. After Guan Ku finished speaking, Jiang Chen thought about it, and it was true. Now all his companies are supported by these roses. The money earned from these roses is really. Then. And there's the hospital. Sahara Hospital was fully in place yesterday. In the afternoon, their dean came and said that he wanted to buy the latest medical equipment. He asked for 700 to 800 million. I was overwhelmed at the time, but the hospital is a good thing after all. I estimated that when our scenic spot is normal and the roses are sold out, we can still afford it, so I'll let them buy on credit. Really? When? Chapter 219 Super Garbage Disposal Station. By the way, there are more than 1,200 employees in Sahara Hospital, and their monthly salary is 120 million. They are now treating people's colds and fevers all day long. When will they be able to earn enough to cover their expenses? Brother Jiang, in my opinion, there is no need to invite so many experts. No one comes to treat illnesses here. We have to pay 100 million every month. Now we can afford it with Rose, but what if we don't have Rose? We can't even afford to eat. How can we control them? Guan Ku became more and more excited. Yes, he is now Jiang Chen's butler. Jiang Chen pats his butt and doesn't ask anything. Such a large scenic area, and so many companies are all managed by him alone. He worries every day and starts to lose his hair at the age of 30. If this continues, he will have baldness before he is 40. After Guan Ku complained for a while, Jiang Chen sat down at his desk. He knew that Guan Ku was exhausted during this period, so a good boss should sit down and solve problems for his employees, even if sometimes he can't solve problems. For such a strong man, you just need to sit down and listen to his complaints. Well, you're right. But we have to look at things in the long run. Think about it, we have nearly 3 or 4,000 employees in our scenic area now. If we don't provide them with the best medical care, will they work hard for us? Hey, I've thought about it, but we are just starting out now, and the road we've paved is too wide. Also, Brother Jiang, Mojiang Sanatorium is now affiliated with Sahara Hospital. For the time being, let their hospital be responsible for the sanatorium's affairs. We can't just take the money and not do anything. Okay, you can figure it out yourself. Are there any other problems now? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guan Ku's resentment was reduced a lot. There are no other big problems. By the way, Some people have already started applying for the sanatorium. I have negotiated with them about the price. I said that our sanatorium is the most natural sanatorium and we are affiliated with the best hospital, so everyone will be charged 1 million per month. They can come if they want, or forget it if they don't want to. After Guanku finished speaking, Jiang Chen nodded. That's right, he didn't plan to ask for less. You know, the nursing home project he wants to build is the best project in the world, nothing else. Who of these wealthy people who are sick or planning to prolong their lives would be reluctant to give up the 1 million? Moreover, Jiang Chen's service is absolutely top notch. His sanatorium is located on the grassland. He sleeps in a house on the grass every day. It is difficult to sleep badly. These wealthy people have great pressure in life. Who is not tortured by sleep when they reach a certain age? What's more, Jiang Chen also provides them with the top services of Sahara Hospital. Those who are sick can live directly in the sanatorium in Mojiangnu district, and those who are not sick can live directly in the nursing home in the grassland scenic area. They can live 4 or 5 years or even more than 10 years. It's just 1 million a month, come or not. By the way, is there anyone signing up now? No. After Guanku finished speaking, Jiang Chen sighed. The publicity is still not in place. It seems that it's time for him to do a wave of live broadcast promotion. Let's not talk about such heavy topics. By the way, how long do you think it will take to save up 3 billion for me? The lights in the house were a little bright, and they were a little dazzling. Guanku really wanted to be blinded by the light. These topics are heavy, or the topic of 3 billion is heavy. Brother Jiang, do you still remember the 10 billion you donated? Guanku suddenly sat up straight. He thought he would definitely find a way to make Jiang Chen forget about borrowing 3 billion. Yes, there must be a way. The 10 billion foundation has been returned to us. They are very grateful to you for receiving ZHU Chang's 20 billion donation. So they said they would give us the 10 billion and let us build a school ourselves. I think our new district has already built primary and secondary schools and kindergartens. If you need money, just take the money and use it. After Guanku finished speaking, Jiang Chen frowned. He did need money, but he couldn't be poor in education. No, the school's money cannot be touched. I will never embezzle money for education, even if I'm short of money in my life. If a person takes the money of the future of the motherland, does he still have a future? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guanku nodded and said, then we really have no money. By the way, I plan to have people build primary and secondary schools on the grassland with this 10 billion. I heard that the families of the Sahara Legion will be here soon, which will just solve the problem of their children going to school. After Guanku finished speaking, Jiang Chen nodded. It seems that he really has no money this time. However, how can he build the desert without money? He also needs to upgrade it to a 4 level scenic spot. If the supporting facilities are not perfect, he will not be able to obtain new seeds. Guanku, you must have a way, right? After a long silence, Jiang Chen looked at Guanku and said lightly. Seeing that Jiang Chen was not giving up, Guanku nodded and said, there is a way, but this way does not depend on us. Who to depend on? Jiang Chen asked hurriedly when he saw that there was a turn for the better. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guanku opened his phone and clicked on the online store of today's flowers and said, look at it. As long as the sales of today's flowers go down, our roses will be popular. Let alone giving brother Jiang 3 billion, even 30,000, cough cough, even 300 billion is not a problem. After all, Guanku was the manager of the Roses Date online store. He still remembers that Sahara Roses sold more than 200 billion directly that season. However, now because of the shortage and price reduction of today's roses, they have taken away 90% of the market, so their Sahara shop is so miserable. Of course, if Jiang Chen's scenic spot hadn't been here to support it, it is estimated that their Sahara shop would have closed down long ago. After Guanku finished speaking, Jiang Chen looked at the price of roses on today's flowers. Their rose prices have dropped by another 1,000 yuan. Now you only need 4,000 yuan to buy a rose that is purely imported from France and has an international number. Not only that, their packaging is still authentic packaging from France, which looks fashionable, beautiful, and expensive. Brother Jiang, look, they just won't give us a way out. Just now it was 5,000 per rose, and now it's reduced by 1,000. Also, look at their sales. They sold more than 10,000 today, and this is just online sales, plus their storefront. They must have sold 30,000 to 40,000 roses a day. After Guan Ku finished speaking, he looked at his rose sales. Today, he only sold 2,000 roses. It seems that the number of tourists tomorrow will drop sharply. This is not surprising, because tomorrow is Monday, and many people have to go to work on Monday. Jiang Chen stared at the sales of roses of today's flowers in a daze. It was only the beginning of the month, and the total monthly sales of roses of today's flowers had reached 100,000. He was curious whether today's flowers really had so many roses. Also, could he really afford the loss? What Jiang Chen didn't know was that at the headquarters of today's flowers in Shangjing, a group of people were sitting in the conference room arguing and almost fighting. Chapter 220 My money came from the wind. Today Flowers headquarters in Beijing is located in Xingyuan building on Shangjing Financial Street. Although it is late at night, the office of Today Flowers headquarters is still brightly lit. We can't lower the price anymore. We lose 6,000 for each rose, and there are nearly 50,000 roses a day, so we lose 300 million a day. If this continues, all our investment will be gone. That's right, it's not too late to stop now, otherwise we don't know how much money we will lose next. Storefront, celebrity endorsements, price cuts. It's only been 2 weeks, and Today Flowers has spent more than 5 billion. In addition, we are losing 300 million every day. I don't know if you can beat Jiang Chen, but I know that if you don't stop, I will stop investing. I won't invest either. You guys play. I'm withdrawing too. Several middle-aged men in their 40s and 50s in the office stood up while talking. Seeing this, the young man in the main seat of the conference room yawned and said, "If you want to withdraw your investment, withdraw it. My ZHU family doesn't lack this little money. However, my father asked me to tell you that if you withdraw your investment now, the more than 1 billion you invested in the early stage will be gone. If you continue to invest, you will get tens of billions or even hundreds of billions." After ZHU Chan finished speaking, several people sat down again. That's right, they agreed to take over Today's Flowers just to get some benefits from the ZHU family. So how could they leave easily? Then how long do you think we have to fight Jiang Chen? That's right, we can't keep losing money like this every day. It won't be long. The wind and sand have reached the border now. I have calculated with experts that if he doesn't sell all the roses within 10 days, the wind and sand will submerge his rose garden. As long as Jiang Chen's rose garden goes bankrupt, will he still have roses to sell? After ZHU Chan finished speaking, he looked at the people from the investment company opposite him. They nodded and said, "If the rose garden is gone, what about bird roses?" That's right, as long as his rose garden is gone, the high-end rose market in China will be ours, and the roses in France are cultivated in greenhouses and can be sold for a year. Yes, as long as the Sahara roses are gone, we can immediately raise the price of roses to 50,000 per rose. Anyway, those rich people will compete to sell them, and we don't have to worry about sales. After several managers of investment companies finished speaking, ZHU Chang sneered, "You only have this much vision. How much money can you make from selling roses? As long as his roses can't be sold, he can't pay his debts. When so many creditors chase him, he can only go bankrupt. Moreover, his scenic spot will also be taken away by Guaki Bank. At that time, with my family shares in Guaki Bank, we can definitely buy the scenic spot back." After ZHU Chan finished speaking, a group of people heard that Jiang Chen's scenic spot would also collapse, and their eyes suddenly became golden. If you can cheat Jiang Chen's scenic spot away, you will make a lot of money. Do you know that Jiang Chen's scenic spot is actually in the desert, which is an unmanaged area? Whoever owns it is no different from the king. Why didn't I think of it? What can your pig brain think of? Let's just follow the ZHU family and drink soup safely. After several people finished speaking, ZHU Chang smiled. Then are you still going to invest money now? As long as you help our ZHU family defeat Jiang Chen, you will definitely get investment from Mo Jiang. You are complaining now because you lose tens of billions or hundreds of billions, but when you make hundreds of billions or trillions, you will know how embarrassing it is today. After Zhu Chang finished speaking, how could a group of investors dare to say no to investing? Invest. Keep investing. Let's fight with Jiang Chen. Don't mention 4,000 per rose. I'll agree even if it's 3,000 per rose. I agree too. I don't believe Jiang Chen can hold on for half a month. Yes, even if the desert doesn't flood his scenic area in half a month, by then he'll have no roses and will fail. After owing nearly 100 billion, we must wear him down. The people of Shangjing strengthened their confidence. At this moment, in the small border county of Mojiang, Jiang Chen and Guan Ku were also discussing. Jiang Chen was very short of money now. He knew that the fastest way to make money was to sell roses. As long as all his roses were sold, he would make more than 2 trillion. Even if his roses were sold at half price now, he could still make 1.5 trillion. With this money, he could not only pay off the loan, but also complete many tasks given by the system. We have to lower the price of roses. I'm going to fight them to the end. If they sell them for 4,000, I'll sell them for 2,000. If they sell them for 2,000, I'll sell them for 1,000. Jiang Chen didn't believe that he couldn't survive the flowers of today. After all, his money came from the wind, and he didn't believe that Zhu Chang's money also came from the wind. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guan Ku shook his head and said, "No, brother Jiang, if you sell them like this, it will only ruin our Mojiang scenic area. Have you ever thought about it? Once roses are worthless, who will come to our scenic area for a rose?" Guan Ku was right. Their scenic area had just opened and was not well known, or even not well known at all. A scenic area with no reputation, but still charging 5,000 tickets. Why would tourists buy your account? Therefore, once Jiang Chen's roses were reduced in price, it would be a fatal blow to their scenic area. What if we don't reduce the price? Do we have any choice? Jiang Chen wanted to smoke a cigarette. He was extremely irritable. Guan Ku and his friends had plenty of time to play with Zhu Chang and his friends, but he couldn't afford it. It is tens of thousands of kilometers from Mojiang to the Sahara hinterland. Even if he builds 100 kilometers of Greenland a year, it will take hundreds of years to build to the Sahara hinterland. Can he wait? Therefore, he must make money as quickly as possible, and then build a road to the Sahara. He must fulfill the dream of his parents and grandfather. As long as Jiang Chen is still alive, he must avenge his family's hatred. I have a way. Let's continue with the bundled sales. Guan Ku saw that Jiang Chen was very anxious, and he knew that Jiang Chen must really need money, so he was so anxious with him. After Guan Ku finished speaking, Jiang Chen looked into the distance with his deep eyes, but soon he shook his head. No, the sunflower seeds are not ripe yet, and I don't know how long it will take to sell them. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guan Ku was ashamed. It seemed that he didn't mention the sunflower. However, Jiang Chen reminded him so much, and he really thought of another way. Brother Jiang, I'm not talking about melon seeds. Didn't you ask me to build a water plant today? I was wondering why we don't sell roses together with the water plant. Jiang Chen's water manager is the most reassuring. Not only is his water sweet, but it is also rich in various vitamins and minerals that the human body lacks. Drinking this water can definitely purify various things in the human body. Therefore, as long as he launches a hit product, it will definitely be a hit. However, before it becomes a hit, they must give them a few super advertisements to let everyone know, and the manager just came up with a win-win solution. Chapter 221 titled Run, Brother. When Jiang Chen heard that Guan was going to sell roses and crescent base and spring water together, he slapped his thigh and said, "Okay, let's sell them together with sand spring water." That's right, he had already built the reservoir. Next, as long as Guan built the water plant, the water could be sold. Speaking of the water plant, the county water plant in the development zone happened to be closed down, and Guan had already acquired the water plant. The water plant is not too far from Jiang Chen's reservoir. In the next 2 days, as long as Guan has someone connect the pipes to the reservoir, their water plant can be opened. Sand spring water is a very profitable thing, and unlike roses, sand spring water can be sold all year round, but desert rose is different. How to sell it together? Jiang Chen looked at Guan and asked. Guan drank a cup of coffee to refresh himself and said, "Give away roses and water. Anyway, our goal is to sell all the roses, so we sell them together. The water can be free, but the price of the roses will also be raised." After Guan finished speaking, Jiang Chen had almost understood it in his heart. Buy rose for 30,000 yuan and get a month's supply of bottled Shaquan water, plus 500 bottles of canned Shaquan water. After Guan Ku finished speaking, Jiang Chen nodded. His Shaquan water was endorsed by Governor Li himself, and the name of Shaquan water was written by Governor Li himself. Although Governor Li did not ask him for a penny of endorsement fee, this invisible brand power was promoted. Therefore, Jiang Chen's Shaquan water was sold at a high price. A bottle of bottled Shaquan water was 51 yuan, and a barrel of Shaquan water was 500 yuan. Okay, I'll do as you say. By the way, let's find a spokesperson for Shaquan water. Okay, by the way, brother Jiang, you mentioned endorsements. I'm going to find Kaikun and Fan Jiabing to be the spokespersons. What do you think? Now it's all about the idol effect. Looking at China, Kaikun and Fan Jiabing are top tier traffic stars, so Jiang Chen is very satisfied. More importantly, Fan Jiabing and Kaikun also filmed a show in his own scenic spot. Since their ball, "You're So Beautiful" was broadcast, Jiang Chen obviously found that there were more young tourists in his scenic spot. Okay, let's find them. Film the commercials as soon as possible. In addition, don't be stingy with the advertising fees. Advertise on TV stations in various provinces and TV stations in Beijing. Also, it's best to get the title of the most popular variety show run, brother. Now if you want to be well known, you have to advertise. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guan Ku hurriedly wrote it down. As the night deepened, Jiang Chen saw that he could not get any money for the time being, so he also prepared to take a good rest for a few days. Before leaving, Guan Ku suddenly thought of Sunflower Garden. He looked at Jiang Chen and said, "Brother Jiang, I have another idea. Our sunflowers and apricots will be ripe in less than 2 months. Why don't we sell sunflower cards and apricot cards in advance?" Speaking of selling sunflower cards and apricot cards in advance, Jiang Chen suddenly thought of Yangcheng Lake hairy crabs. That's right, since hairy crabs can be sold for crab cards, why can't he sell sunflower cards and apricot cards in advance? In the future, people can also directly give sunflower cards and apricot cards as gifts. What a good idea. President Guan, if you do this, will our roses still have no reason to sell at a lower price? Although Jiang Chen didn't know what the advantages of his sunflower seeds were, the system's products must be high quality. Therefore, he was still very relieved. Jiang Chen sat next to Guan Ku again, and the two of them brewed a few pots of tea and discussed. From dusk to dawn, the buckets in Guan Ku's office were empty, and the two of them finished discussing. Time passed slowly. In early June, just as Jiang Chen said, there were always many tourists. After a few days, Sahara shop earned more than 1 billion. After having money, Jiang Chen spent a lot of money to dig Sukayang, the vice president of Huabao Mineral Water, to serve as the general manager of Shaquan Water Co. Limited. After Sukayang took office, Jiang Chen invested 500 million yuan in him to introduce the strongest production line in China. In less than 3 days, the mineral water production line was assembled in Mojiang Development Zone. At the same time, Guan Ku also had people well 2 pipelines from Mojiang Reservoir to the mineral water plant. Once the pipeline was connected, Huayan Shaquan Water Co. Limited was officially established and put into production before mid-June. After Shaquan Water was put into production, Jiang Chen took the lead in putting bottled water into the scenic area. Not only that, Jiang Chen also wanted to prepare to promote Shaquan Water to the whole country. Of course, this was not his concern. After all, Sukayang was there, and he was more professional than himself. By the way, after mid-June, Jiang Chen's scenic area continued to be strong, but the flowers of today were a little unsustainable. At the Shangjing Xingyuan building, Today Flowers headquarters held a shareholders meeting, inviting more than a dozen shareholders of Today Flowers, both large and small. In the meeting room, ZHU Chang, the representative of the largest shareholder of Today Flowers, Dajiang Venture Capital, sat in the middle of the meeting room. His secretary handed him the financial report for the past half month. Before Zhu Chan could speak, a man in his 40s beside him slammed the table and stood up. Didn't they say that Jiang Chen's scenic spot will not last more than half a month? How come it's been half a month and they haven't closed down yet? That's right. Mr. Zhu, can you give us an explanation? We have been losing more than 500 million yuan on average every day in the past half month. Since we started the price war with Jiang Chen, we have lost more than 7 billion yuan. How long will we continue to lose money? We must raise the price. From now on, we must raise the price. Raise the price to 30,000 yuan per rose. Will it work? If you raise the price to 30,000 yuan per rose, others will also raise the price to 30,000 yuan per rose. They also offer free travel. Who will buy our roses? I think Jiang Chen will not be able to hold on. We are both losing money. How about we send someone to make peace with them? No one will do promotions and we will compete fairly. Haha, we were the ones who started the price war. Now we beg for mercy. Can they forgive us? Soon the meeting room became a mess. Just when everyone was arguing, Zhu Chan slammed the table with a bang, and the meeting room fell silent. It's impossible to make peace. I, Zhu Chan, will never bow to him. Fatty Wang, didn't you say that sandstorms will submerge Mojiang in mid-June? It's already mid-June, why haven't they been submerged by the desert yet? Jiang Chen roared, and a man next to him wiped the sweat from his forehead and said, I don't know about this. At this time of year in previous years, not to mention Mojiang, even Yi City was covered by sandstorms and couldn't go out. But this year, not to mention Yi City, even the sky in Mojiang County is bluer than our Beijing. How do you explain it? I think you are clearly a shill sent by Jiang Chen. Fatty Wang had just finished speaking when the general manager of Northern Capital next to him threw a document and started to fight with Fatty Wang. Fatty Wang got angry when he heard it. He pointed at the general manager of Northern Capital and shouted, who do you say is a shill? Mojiang will be covered by sandstorms in June. This is the forecast of the Sand Management Bureau. If you don't believe it, go to the Sand Management Bureau to check the forecast now. Okay. Is it useful to argue about this now? Think about how to solve the problem. Okay. Chapter 222, The Edge of Collapse. In the conference room, Jiang Chen's old rivals became anxious, but Zhu Chan knew that he was now competing with Jiang Chen in endurance. Now both of them were on the verge of collapse, and it depended on who would die first. There are only two options now, either raise the price or lower it completely. Zhu Chan gritted his teeth, and his eyes showed the ferocity of a wolf. When it came to further price cuts, a group of investment companies were even more unhappy. I object. If we lower the price, we will lose more money. We, the Northern Capital, can't invest any more money. I support raising the price back. If we raise the price back, no one will buy our roses. Now we have no choice but to lower the price. I want to lower the price of roses to the point where everyone who wants to buy Jiang Chen's roses will give up completely. As long as I can monopolize the rose market, if he can't sell his tickets, he will also die. After Zhu Chan finished speaking, Fatty Wang also nodded and said, I agree. We have no way out. If we back down now, all year investment will go down the drain. Think about it. In the conference room, the shareholders fell silent. They were now riding a tiger, and it was difficult to back down. If they took a step back, their more than 8 billion would be ruined, and the reputation they had worked so hard to build would also be ruined. But if they followed up, they didn't know how much money they would have to invest in the future. Keep lowering the price. My money can't go down the drain. Lower. A group of shareholders quickly voted in support. After all, they understood that today's flowers had become a dark horse in the flower industry. As long as they could defeat Jiang Chen and successfully go public, their investment would return them more than 10 times. In the early morning, on the desert grassland, the sky was blue, the wilderness was vast, and the wind blew the grass low, revealing cattle and sheep. Fatty Wang returned from Qi province after purchasing cattle and sheep. Carts of cattle and sheep were unloaded on the grassland. Along with the cattle and sheep, there were more than 20,000 family members of the Sahara Legion. When they arrived at the desert grassland, they were all stunned. They thought the desert would be a wilderness, but they never expected that there would be such fertile grassland here. Not only that, the roads on this grassland were wide, the street lights were bright, and even the yurts were prepared for them to live in. These family members were so excited. Hearing that Fatty Wang was back, Jiang Chen came to visit him specially. On the grassland, Fatty Wang had organized the family members of the Legion to divide the cattle and sheep into different farms. When Jiang Chen saw Fatty Wang, he saw that Fatty Wang was wearing a cotton and linen casual suit, sitting on the grass with his legs spread out, staring at the running cattle and sheep in a daze. "That's great." Village Chief Zhen Yaoqian said that I, Fatty Wang, could never afford to buy cattle and sheep in my lifetime. I never thought that my dream would come true so soon. As Fatty Wang was talking, Jiang Chen walked over, patted him on the shoulder and said, "Fatty, don't sigh. Next time we go back to Wanjiang together, we'll just bring that bastard Zhen Yaoqian to be our shepherd. No, that grandson definitely won't want to come. Throw money at him until he comes." "Good idea." After Fatty Wang finished speaking, he started to laugh foolishly. The air on the grassland was very fresh. When the wind blew, Jiang Chen could smell a large area of natural fragrance. "Brother Chen, on the way to buy cattle, someone asked me if I wanted to buy chickens. I ordered another 20,000 native chickens. Do you want to give me a thumbs up?" After Fatty Wang finished speaking, Jiang Chen's face turned black. He really wanted to kill this idiot. What do chickens eat? They eat insects. Don't you know that there are no mosquitoes in my grassland? Can't you ask me before you buy something? Damn, how could I forget about this? I'll call him right away. After Fatty Wang finished speaking, Jiang Chen looked at Fatty Wang. This guy wanted him to give him a thumbs up. If it weren't for the fact that they were brothers, Jiang Chen really wanted to give him a thumbs up. "Hey, what? Delivered to the scenic spot? What? And brought 5,000 ducks? I didn't want ducks." The moment Fatty Wang called, Jiang Chen knew what despair was. "Ahem, brother Chen, raise a few ducks in the river. Hey, let's talk it over. If you hit me again, I'll run away." If Jiang Chen's phone hadn't rang, Jiang Chen would probably have beaten him to death. "Brother Jiang, the price of roses at today's flowers has dropped to 2,000 yuan each. We can't sell them anymore." Guan Ku's anxious voice came from the phone. Jiang Chen was stunned. He never thought that today's flowers would dare to sell roses at 2,000 yuan each. If they sold them like this, he would have to lose 8,000 yuan for each rose. "Wait a minute, I'll be there soon." Jiang Chen let Fatty Wang go. He drove towards Mojiang County. Fatty Wang saw Jiang Chen leaving, so he laughed and said, "Fortunately, I was smart. I quickly unloaded the chickens and ducks. If you want to eat gnawed chicken in the future, I'll just make it myself in the scenic area." It was already noon at the Roses Date online store. Afternoon, the Roses Date online store had only sold 3 roses, and 2 had applied for a refund. When Guan Ku saw Jiang Chen coming, he hurriedly opened his phone. Today's flowers roses had sold more than 30,000 in the morning. "Brother Jiang, they just want to squeeze us to death. Not only do no one buy our roses now, but there are no tourists in the scenic area. If this continues, we can't even pay our employees' salaries, let alone repay the loan." Guan Ku said anxiously. Jiang Chen was more anxious than him. If more than 2 trillion roses are not picked, they will rot in the fields. Moreover, if tourists don't come, how can he complete his mission? If he can't complete the mission, how can he get new seeds to fight the desert? "Don't worry, at worst we can sell them at a low price." Zhu Chang wanted to crush himself with roses. Since he forced himself, at worst he would die together. Jiang Chen had just finished speaking, and Guan Ku was about to speak when Jiang Chen's cell phone rang. Jiang Chen wanted to hang up, but when he saw that it was Manager Mu calling, he was afraid that there was a problem with the cement, so he quickly picked it up. "Hello, Manager Mu. Is there anything I can help you with?" "Brother Jiang, you asked me to borrow money last time. Do you still want it now?" Speaking of money, Jiang Chen nodded. He had everything except money. If Manager Mu had enough money, would he still worry about Rose's affairs? "Yes, how much money do you have?" "All the gravel and cement from last time have been sold out, and now the new province has a policy that requires accounts to be settled in person. Today, I paid 1.9 billion for cement, and 1.3 billion for gravel from Yi City and Mojiang. In addition, I sold cement to Urumqi. Urumqi is now vigorously building a development zone, and the accounts were settled yesterday. I paid 4.2 billion for cement and 6.7 billion for gravel. In addition, the new province invested in the construction of the Ulan Expressway, and they also used our cement and gravel, and the money was. Manager Mew on the other end of the phone was very excited. You know, in the past month or so, he sold all of Jiang Chen's cement and sand at market prices. The cost price of Jiang Chen's cement was 51 tons, and he sold 650 per ton. The cost price of gravel was 31 tons, and he sold 521 tons. These 1 billion cement and 1 billion sand directly earned him 72.317 billion yuan. Not only that, hearing that Jiang Chen has cheap and super high quality cement and sand, people from all over the vast new province seem to have discovered gold and come to buy. Now Mu Cheng is overwhelmed by the orders alone, and those companies that are in a hurry to complete the project are paying a higher price. There are trucks transporting cement and gravel to the Sahara cement factory day and night. Chapter 223, Money Floating. When Jiang Chen heard that the 2 billion of cement and sand he invested had been sold, and that he had sold more than 70 billion, he jumped up with joy instantly. That's right, with this money, he would not be afraid that the roses would not be sold. Very good, you will directly transfer the money to my account later. You will transfer 60 billion to me, and you can keep the rest of the money to build Sahara Building Materials Company. By the way, every city in the province must establish a branch company, and we must ensure that they all use our cement and gravel. Jiang Chen knew that with a leader like Governor Li, who was in charge of the people in the new province, he would never have to worry about those real estate developers, construction companies, and road administration companies cheating him of his money. When Mu Cheng saw that Jiang Chen had left more than 10 billion for him, his eyes were wet with excitement. Yes, more than 10 billion was a huge sum of money. Apart from anything else, he could at least build a headquarters building for Sahara Building Materials Company in the bonded area. Moreover, with this money, plus the country's restrictions on mining, he could do business in Gansu province and even Qinghai province. Okay, thank you, brother Jiang. Thank you, brother Jiang. By the way, all employees will get bonuses, 20,000 each. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he clearly heard the cheers of the employees of Sahara Building Materials Company on the other end of the phone, which almost drowned out Mu Cheng's voice. Okay, by the way, brother Jiang, our sand and gravel are all sold out. When can brother Jiang send someone to deliver more? Mu Cheng didn't know where Jiang Chen's sand and gravel came from. He only knew that they were obtained by the military, so he could only report to Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen nodded and agreed, and hung up the phone. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Chen smiled at the price reduction advertisement of today's flowers. You, ZHU Chang, want me to work for you? Okay, now I will let you see who works for whom. No more roses for sale. President Guan, let's go upstairs to talk. Today I will kill today's flowers. Jiang Chen said as he walked towards the Sahara shop headquarters on the second floor. Seeing that Jiang Chen cement made a lot of money, Guan Ku also happily followed Jiang Chen upstairs. In the CEO's office on the second floor, Guan Ku deliberately closed the door, because he knew that everything they discussed now would be an absolute secret of the Sahara group. I'll give you 60 billion to kill today's flowers. Can you do it? Jiang Chen dared to cross his legs unconsciously when he spoke. There was no other way. With money, his legs couldn't help but want to fly. Speaking of 60 billion to kill today's flowers, Guan Ku smiled and nodded and said, don't use 50 billion, just 10 billion, and I can get them. After Guan Ku finished speaking, Jiang Chen was typing on his phone and 10 billion had been transferred to the financial account of Sahara shop. Smart people don't need to say much. After Guan Ku took the money, he said goodbye to Jiang Chen and went to work. Jiang Chen had the money, and he was ready to start work. After all, the reservoirs in his scenic area were waiting for him to repair. Dusk fell in the blink of an eye. After Jiang Chen built more than a dozen reservoirs in the scenic area, Jiang Chen stopped. More than a dozen reservoirs cost him more than 4 billion, but these more than 4 billion could solve the water problem in his scenic area, and this goal was achieved. At dusk, Jiang Chen was about to start a live broadcast when he suddenly received a call from Fatty Wang. Fatty Wang had even gone to Mojiang County to make this call because there was no signal for other mobile phones in the desert except Jiang Chen's. "Hey, brother Chen, can you transfer the money for the geese this morning to me?" Fatty Wang's voice on the other end of the phone was a little low, completely different from the Fatty Wang in Jiang Chen's impression. "Wait, what geese money? Didn't you buy chickens and ducks this morning?" After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Fatty Wang's even weaker voice came from the other end of the phone. "The chickens and ducks were delivered first, and another 5,000 geese were just delivered. 10 million will be charged to your card." Jiang Chen hung up the phone after he finished speaking. After the call was hung up, Fatty Wang was a little surprised. How could Jiang Chen, who was so stingy, suddenly become so generous? Did he make money from selling something and become arrogant? But who cares? As long as he is given money, he can be a big landlord in the ranch quietly, and that's enough. In the evening, Jiang Chen opened the live broadcast of Chile. Before the live broadcast, he specially looked at Feng Mushroom, the top singing anchor in China, who was newly invited by Chile. When he opened Feng Mushroom's live broadcast room, Feng Mushroom's live broadcast room was indeed very popular. It was only a little after 8 o'clock in the evening, and her popularity had reached more than 20 million. You have to know that, if an anchor can let 20 million people watch her live broadcast at the same time, she must be the top anchor in China. You and I make a circle with a left hand and right hand. Left hand. Feng Mushroom was really attractive during the live broadcast. Her voice was very nice, and she was small and cute. So soon her live broadcast room was filled with gifts, and Feng Mushroom did not forget to thank everyone in a cute way at the right time. "Thank you for your gifts. I just came to Chile. I hope you will support me in the future. I will broadcast live from 5 PM to 11 PM every day. Everyone should remember the time." After Feng Mushroom finished speaking, her screen was filled with the barrage of support from Oticus, and at the same time, there were also fans who were stirring up trouble and left messages to set the pace. ZHU Zah, are you here to compete with Jiang Chen for the top position of Chile? W is really spirited. What nonsense are you talking about? Jiang Chen is the real number one of Legio. She doesn't deserve it. Bahong chat group, don't make trouble. We are all Legio live broadcasters. What are you fighting for the first place? ZHU Zah, really, you really don't deserve to compete with Jiang Chen for the first place. You are just trash. ZHU is the most handsome. That's right. Resolutely boycott Feng Mushroom. Everyone can act cute. Supporting Jiang Chen starts with boycotting Feng Mushroom. After a group of fans with good intentions set the pace, Feng Mushroom showed an unhappy smile on her face. That's right. Before she came to Legio, she heard from President Li that Jiang Chen was arrogant because of his talent. He didn't have much fame, but he still wanted a signing fee of 20 million, and he also wanted 80% of the rewards, so he was going to abandon Jiang Chen and support newcomers. Today, she just started the live broadcast and encountered Jiang Chen's fans scolding her. She was very angry. Did Jiang Chen ask you to come and make trouble? You are so bad. Which brother can help me to ask them to leave? I'm not here to compete with Jiang Chen. Mayo I invited Han Shaoguoran. How can he, who is broadcasting the scenery outdoors, compare with him? That's why Mr. Lee invited me to defeat her. After Feng Mushroom finished speaking, the fans she brought with her soon left messages. Strong man, that's right. You idiots said that Mushroom should grab the first place. Is there any need to grab it? If Jiang Chen is good, would he still invite our cute Mushroom? Big sword. Jiang Chen fans, get out of here. We are not exaggerating. He broadcasts the sunset every day and I'm tired of it. How can it be better than Feng Mushroom? Dribbling team. Oh, don't mention Jiang Chen. I just bought his roses last time, and he reduced the price and gave away tickets. It's annoying, but I won't go, even if the broken desert begs me to go. Love can be summed up in one word. That's it. He is also a black-hearted businessman. A Puro certified by the French Rose Association only costs 2,000 yuan at today's flowers, but he wants 30,000 yuan. He has a black heart. Such a person is not worthy to be compared with a little mushroom cutie. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 224. I'll compete with you. A group of fans in Feng Mushroom's live broadcast room started to lead Jiang Chen's rhythm. Jiang Chen watched without saying anything, but Feng Mushroom was not calm. After all, she was the top star of Xiao who lived before she came. She couldn't bear this kind of anger easily, and it was on the first day of her live broadcast. You always compare me with Jiang Chen, but there is nothing to compare. We are both live broadcasters. Who is more popular and who is less popular can be seen at a glance. When they heard that I was going to live broadcast on Chile, some people were so scared that they didn't even dare to live broadcast. Doesn't this explain the problem? After Feng Mushroom finished speaking, her fans laughed at her. Wang, that's right, trash is trash. When they heard that our mushroom girl was coming, they didn't dare to live broadcast. Global awakening, that's right. If he has the ability, let him live broadcast now to compete for popularity. While a group of fans were talking, Jiang Chen opened the live broadcast room. He didn't do it to compete with Feng Mushroom for the first place of Chile. If he hadn't defeated Maoi's #1 brother, would Chile be where he is today? Moreover, how can you, a singer and dancer, compare with me? Hello everyone, I'm Jiang Chen who loves farming. Today I will bring you brand new live content. I hope you like it. The moment Jiang Chen's live broadcast room opened, several old fans in his live broadcast room immediately came to support him. Young man, hello, anchor, you are finally back. Song Chachu, that's right. Feng Mushroom next door has started a live broadcast, and it is also highly recommended on the homepage. Does Chile really not support you anymore? They smiled at each other. Hahaha, the anchor is really looking for trouble. Today Chile is promoting Feng Mushroom through all channels. Aren't you asking for death by running out for Feng Mushroom's first show? Little pig, no, he is not asking for death. He is pretending to be cool, but he will pay the price for his pretending to be cool later. Moeni, anchor, don't pay attention to him. They are Zhu Chang's trolls. The 10-county desert film and television tourism base was swallowed up by the sandstorm. All the money they invested was lost, and they came here to seek comfort. There were many fans who left messages, but Jiang Chen ignored them. Under the breeze, Jiang Chen walked alone in a pale golden sunset. In the Jinshan Crossing scenic area, the apricot blossoms that have been blooming for more than half a month have turned from red to white. The white sea of flowers is clustered under the setting sun. When the wind blows, they really look like a fairyland. When they fall down. This is the Jinshan Crossing scenic area, where I want to broadcast live to you. The apricot blossoms in China have all fallen, but they are in full bloom here. By the way, I will take you to see the apricot blossom rain in Xinghuling. Jiang Chen said as he walked towards the Xinghuling scenic area. While walking, Jiang Chen did not pay attention to his live broadcast room. What he didn't know was that his live broadcast room had already exploded at this moment. Song Chachu, wow. So beautiful. The apricot blossoms are endless. I haven't seen such a large area of apricot blossom base for a long time. Moeni, the apricot blossoms in the desert bloomed so late. I missed the apricot blossom rain in China. I really want to go to the desert to take a look. 3 chat groups, ahem, look, the popularity has increased. Let's go and promote it quickly. Crayon Xiaojiu, here you are, brother, you started the live broadcast without telling me, gosh. Aren't you going to broadcast the sunset today? Where is this place? Why is it so beautiful? Owl, haha, I've been to this scenic spot. Let me tell you, the anchor will go to Xinghuling later, and you will know what a paradise on earth is. Wanggudan Leo, go and check out Feng Mushroom's live broadcast room, all her tourists have run away. While Jiang Chen was walking, a group of fans went to Feng Mushroom's live broadcast room to watch the fun. At this moment, in Feng Mushroom's live broadcast room, Feng Mushroom was sitting on a chair and singing to tigers. She was very cute and her singing was very beautiful. An anchor like her could attract those otakus the most. However, when Feng Mushroom saw that the popularity of her live broadcast room plummeted, she couldn't help but frowned. What's wrong? Did everyone go to eat? Feng Mushroom stopped the microphone and asked. Most of the fans in her live broadcast room didn't know what happened, but it seemed that not many people would eat at this time. Giant Dongyu, what's going on? How did the popularity suddenly disappear? There were more than 20 million just now. How come there are only more than 8 million now? Little pig, don't worry about them. They will be back soon. Heaven's Gate, hahaha, they won't be back. Don't you know? Jiang Chen next door is live streaming. Global Awakening. What? Jiang Chen is live streaming? When did it happen? Why didn't you notify me? Emperor Xinyan, who are you? Why should I notify you? Forget it, let's go. Brothers, we can watch singing and dancing anytime. It's not easy for Brother Chen to have a live broadcast. I eat wireless resources. Let's go, let's go, let's go watch Brother Chen's live broadcast. A group of fans heard that Jiang Chen was live streaming, and they retreated from Feng Mushroom's live streaming room like a tide in an instant. Feng Mushroom was also dumbfounded. She never expected that Jiang Chen's influence on Chile was so great. Fortunately, she just boasted that Jiang Chen didn't dare to live stream at the same time as her. Now, her live streaming debut will be ruthlessly crushed by Jiang Chen. Everyone, don't leave. I'll dance for you later. After Feng Mushroom finished speaking, the heat that had receded like a tide finally stabilized. Seeing this, Feng Mushroom knew that she had to use her unique skills, so she stood up from her chair and danced a cute little dance for everyone. While Feng Mushroom was performing a dance with everyone, Jiang Chen also walked to his Xinghuling scenic spot. Arriving at Xinghuling, Jiang Chen climbed to the top of the hillside and looked up. The sunset glow had not yet dissipated, and the slopes of the two huge earthen hills in the distance were full of red and white clouds. Jiang Chen pointed to the century-old apricot trees on the hillside in the distance and said, "Look, this is the Xinghuling scenic area. There are more than 5,000 apricot trees in the Xinghuling scenic area. These apricot trees are all on the hillside, and because of the different angles of sunlight, their flowering time is staggered, so there is the spectacular red and white color of Xinghuling." After Jiang Chen finished speaking, everyone looked at the apricot trees on the sandhill that looked like huge flower umbrellas, and they couldn't help but praise them. I love traveling. It's really spectacular. I have been to so many places, but this is the most beautiful apricot sea I have ever seen. Cat brother, not bad. The anchor is awesome today. Every day, the sunset is broadcast live, but today the scenery suddenly changed. There is no publicity, otherwise the popularity today will definitely exceed 100 million. Angry Birds, yes, the last time the anchor broke 100 million was when he broadcast the Rose Sea. Chenje's little fan, why didn't Chenje recommend the live broadcast website when he changed to a new scenic spot? Jiang Chen's fan club, that's right. Is it just to support Feng Mushroom? Sisters of the fan club, it's time to stand up. Fan Club Division 1. I have told everyone in the group. I believe everyone will log in soon. Xiao Erlang. I have also told the fan clubs in our province. All of them will be online in 10 minutes. 1 Xiaobi. Everyone must support Jiang Chen. Also, the popularity must exceed 100 million today. The fans kept notifying each other, and at this moment, the only more than 9 million fans left in Feng Mushroom's live broadcast room watched Feng Mushroom's dance for a while, and they finally couldn't bear the desire to watch Jiang Chen's live broadcast. Big brother slow walk, it's really good dancing, but I haven't watched Jiang Chen live for a long time. I'm leaving now. Please support me slowly. I'll come back tomorrow to support you. Panda, that's right. Why am I so nervous in this live room? Arctic Ocean, I just went to see that Jiang Chen is live streaming a new scenic spot. Oh my god, the live broadcast of a sea of apricot blossoms. Hundreds of thousands of acres of apricot trees. Not only that, but they are all century-old apricots. What are you waiting for? Panda, what? Live streaming a new scenic spot? Damn it, leaving now, leaving now. I'll come back tomorrow to support you. Chapter 225, Deceptive Fake Scenic Spot. At the Hangzhou headquarters of Chili Live, content director Song Jia expected Feng Mushroom's popularity, which was recommended on the homepage, to plummet. She smiled, as if she had expected all this. However, Zhang Wei and General Manager Li looked extremely unhappy at this time. General Manager Li looked at Feng Mushroom's popularity rising from 0 to 20 million, and he immediately felt that Chile was about to rise up another mountain. But when he saw Feng Mushroom's popularity almost dropping from 20 million to 0, his heart went cold, and when he thought about how he would rather offend Jiang Chen than poach people 2 days ago, he lowered his head in shame. At this moment in Jiang Chen's live broadcast room, the evening sunset was thick, and the wind and sand of the desert were still struggling in the anti-sand forest 100 miles away. Jiang Chen walked into the valley. The evening breeze blew, and the valley was quiet. Everyone could only hear the sound of Jiang Chen's feet stepping on the petals and the whistling of the wind blowing through the branches. Jiang Chen walked under a branch of bent apricot flowers, raised his hand, and the fallen flowers floated down like rain. Black branches, white petals, every frame of Xinghuling is a beautiful painting. Jiang Chen's live broadcast room is very quiet. Everyone is so busy taking screenshots that they don't even have time to post comments. Caterpillar, haha, if there is a thatched hut, it would be a blessing to spend the rest of my life here. Patrick, so beautiful. No wonder the anchor dared to show off Feng Mushroom in her first show. With such a scenery, let alone showing off Feng Mushroom, even if Yi Suwen came, she would definitely show off. Piglet, haha, what's there to show? It's fake at first glance. Changzhe is really domineering. That's right, you exposed Mao Yije's live broadcast fraud and ruined Dangzhe. Now that you are famous, aren't you also faking it? Today's flowers, that's right. If you say this is true, I really don't believe it. Who doesn't know that nothing can be grown in the desert? Your apricot tree is at least 100 years old. You said there are tens of thousands of acres of 100-year-old apricot trees in the Mojiang desert. Is this possible? I love mushrooms. Hey, what you said is true. 10,000 mu of 100-year-old apricot forest appeared in the desert. Isn't that nonsense? I think you probably created a fake scenic spot just to deal with my mushrooms. Mushroom fan club, it's a fake scenic spot at first glance. No wonder you haven't come out to live broadcast for so long. It turns out that you know you will be replaced by mushrooms, so you are rushing to create a fake scenic spot. Fart Dabao, it's possible. Brother Chen, you won't follow Brother Dang's old path. Xinghuling, Jiang Chen was not in a hurry to argue with those black fans. He looked at his live broadcast room. At this time, his live broadcast room had more than 30 million popularity, which was far from what he expected. No one would waste words in the evening, especially a busy man like Jiang Chen. He had only one purpose for starting the live broadcast today, that is, everyone promote each other, and when the popularity reaches 50 million later, I will take everyone to see something more magical than this. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, when he heard that Jiang Chen had something more magical than the sea of apricot flowers, fans soon spread the word everywhere. While waiting for the popular place, Jiang Chen opened his mobile phone out of boredom to check the news. When he opened Migu News, he was surprised that the recommended news on Migu News were all about him. Daily news. Today, the live broadcast giant Chili Live paid a lot of money to dig up Feng Mushroom, the #1 anchor of Xiaoyu Live. Feng Mushroom's first show was brilliant, and her popularity was close to 20 million. Highlights. Xiaoyu's #1 anchor suffered a Waterloo, and her popularity instantly dropped to the limit. Feng Mushroom reported Jiang Chen's fake live broadcast of the scenic spot to Chile under his real name. Jiang Chen Entertainment Early Knowledge, Maoi Live Yi Suwen's first show, was forced to be cancelled, perhaps because of a collision with Jiang Chen. The reporter interviewed Yi Suwen, and Yi Suwen expressed his disappointment with Maoi Live's behavior. Fans, if you confront her head on, you can win. New highlights. Jiang Chen is suspected of following Dangzhe's fake route. Every famous anchor faces the dilemma of not being able to retain fans with old live broadcasts. Our reporter will continue to report. Looking at these news, Jiang Chen really wants to say that you are so bored. After checking the news, Jiang Chen returned to the live broadcast room half an hour later. Half an hour later, the popularity of his live broadcast room had exceeded 70 million. Jiang Chen saw that most people had arrived, so he was ready to get down to business. Hello, new friends. Let me introduce my location to you again. I'm now in the Xinghuling scenic area of the Bermuda Desert Oasis scenic area in Mojiang. You can come and enjoy the colorful apricot blossoms again. Jiang Chen said as he pointed the camera at the apricot valley. The new viewers looked at the apricot petals all over the valley in the apricot rain, and they were immediately stunned. General Who, oh my god, there really is such a scene in the Japanese comics in the world. ZHU awesome. It's different when you have money. Dongja built a desert, and you directly built a valley of century-old apricots. Awesome, really awesome. New point of view. Can the anchor prove that your scenic spot is not man-made? 10 County Sand Shadow Base, it must be fake. Our scenic spot is next to it. Now the sandstorm is coming. We can't see anything anywhere. We can't even go out. How could there be so many apricot trees? Looking at everyone's doubts, Jiang Chen seemed to have guessed it long ago. That's right, if there were no doubts, he wouldn't have any hotspots. Without hotspots, how could his live broadcast room become popular? Let me prove that the apricot trees are real, right? This is very simple. However, after I prove it, each of you must buy an apricot card from me. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, a group of people were boiling. Pig blind. See, I knew he was advertising himself. Owl. Okay, as long as he can prove it, what can we do? By buying an apricot card? Prove it. New highlights. It's okay to buy 10. Prove it quickly. Harda Botanical Research Institute. Can apricot trees really be cultivated in the desert? Sir, can you really prove it? Wow. Harda is here again. It's really cool. Harda is here to fight against fakes in person. Mushroom support group. Fighting against fakes must be fought against. This must be fake. If you win today, we will buy you 100 crossing cards. Yasuan fan club, we will buy 1000. But if you are a fake scenic spot, you have to quit the live broadcast industry. Entertainment early watch. The situation escalates. Yasuan fans and Feng Mushroom fans join the melee. Jiang Chen is defeated and may be removed from Leijio. Song Chachu. Oh my god. Entertainment early watch. You posted the report as a barrage. Entertainment early watch. Sorry, I posted it to the wrong place. Jiang Chen looked at the barrage and couldn't help but sneer in his heart. That's right, the harder you spray, the more popular you are. Let you start to burn the fire first, and when you have enough popularity for me, it's just right to do a huge advertisement for free. The moment to witness a miracle has arrived. Let me make another statement. As long as the popularity exceeds 100 million, I will prove it to you. Everyone go and get fans. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he decisively started live streaming the beautiful scenery of his scenic spot. This live streaming at least made the sea of apricot blossoms famous. As long as the fame spreads, he will definitely have a lot of tourists, and his goal of attracting 10,000 tourists will be completed quickly. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.